And we are live here on Plus One EXP's Roll for Content channel. My name is Tony Vicenda. I'm Chief Alchemist here at Plus One EXP, which is a weird little brand that multi-classes in tabletop game design, beard and skincare alchemy, and the Bardic College of Content Creation. Our hope here at Plus One EXP is to help amazing designers find great players who love their games, and amazing players find great designers whose games they can love. We do that in a lot of different ways, but the most fun way to do it is to sit down with those designers and play those games, which is exactly what we're going to do today. We're playing a game that I've been excited about for a year plus now, but we're finally getting to the table. We've got Ethan Yin's ChainXLink. Ethan, when I say it, and I think we've talked about this briefly, the X, is this a pause X in the middle of ChainXLink? Is this a?
It is a pause X.
It is like a hunter
X.
hunter.
Yes, it's a hunter X.
Awesome. So I just wanted to make sure for folks who aren't familiar with you or ChainXLink, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, and a little bit about the game?
Sure, yeah. So, hi everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I am Ethan Yen. I am a indie and freelance tabletop game designer and writer. We are playing this game that I have written and designed called ChainXLink, which is billed as a semi-cooperative dungeon-defying RPG. Here we have our lovely players. Andrew, Quinn, and Tony will be playing as breakers, or lawbreakers as they are also known, who are leaders of rebel factions, disparate rebel factions with their own agendas, all vying for control against a tyrannical government called the Crown. They've all also been captured and sent into a mega dungeon. So right now they're all stuck together and have to work together to try to escape this mega dungeon by taking advantage of these arcane rituals and magic that govern this dungeon, while at the same time they're trying to smuggle assets and gather intel to send up to their factions in the life above to give their factions the best chance of succeeding over all the other ones. And so that's kind of the narrative that we play out throughout this game.
Cool. Awesome. Normally we would have a safety conversation right here. Ethan sent us over a great safety sheet, so I'm going to go ahead and review some of the things that we already have on it. Talk a little bit about that. Keep us in together and organized in just 1 second. But let's go ahead and meet our other two breakers. Let's start with Andrew. Andrew, why don't you tell folks who you are, what you do, where they can find you online?
Hi, I'm Andrew Bowman. I'm usually Andrew Bowman or Andrew Bowman RPG pretty much everywhere. I make games in many different roles. Mike Underwood recently called me a polymath. I'm like, that sounds too cool. So I don't know if I can say that, but Mike said it. But no, lots of art focused stuff. I've been in graphic design, marketing, all that stuff for years before this. And then when I kind of came into game design, it was more in illustration and layout capacity. So yeah, coming on and working with both other Tony, Tony Tran and Ethan on this was an absolute blast. It was a really cool opportunity to kind of step into more of the collaborative space with the art and kind of let somebody else bring their sauce to the table and then see what we could cook with. So that was a really, really cool project to get into. So I did the layout and graphic design for ChainXLink. And I work with a group of people called Infinite Citadel. We make all kinds of weird games. This last year we crowdfunded Mork Soul, which was like a interstellar Morkborg kind of grim dark space sort of thing. And that's kind of been our big project right now. Got a lot of the things going, and I love working with the Plus One crew on a handful of different projects.
Yeah. Just finished the victory lap for F Infinity and working on a couple other secret projects that we'll announce soon. Let's meet our other breaker though. Regular face, top five in my heart. Quinn, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, where they can find you online?
How's it going, y'all? I am Quinn Blackwell. I'm a writer and designer in the space. You can find me pretty much at Blue Sky under Quinn Blackwell. I also work with Plus One. I am the production pal, and I make this happen. Yeah, I move stuff around.
Awesome. Super excited to dive in. Like I said, we always use a couple different safety tools. In lieu of our normal setup with your lines, veils, X and O card and open door policy, we do have some lines and veils we've set up. On this, we'll also be making use of the script change mechanic, which uses the termination of going forward and backwards in a thing. So if we need to pause or stop or fast forward or rewind, we can use that. But the lines we have are stream standard, a line against sexual violence or sexual coercion. We have a veil on harm to children, harm to pregnant people, and a veil on suicide also. So lines are things that are off limits. Veils are things that can come up but just get mentioned and then move forward. We have some notes on romance. And then again, the X card will be in play, so you can type or say X to pause the game. Identify what an issue is, and we can move forward in a different direction. The O card symbols enthusiasm for whatever's happening, so like please linger on this for a little while.
So I should just
And
yell
then the
O.
open door policy is the fact that we're all real people with real things happening around us. Somebody needs to step away from their camera for a second, take a break, that kind of stuff. We'll do that as needed. Also, we can call for group breaks whenever it feels like a good, appropriate stopping point. I do think we've got from Ethan's estimation, we're going to move pretty fast though, so we may be able to make it through the whole thing. But if anybody needs to take a break, please don't hesitate to take care of yourself or let us know. Anybody have any questions about any of those rules or any of those tools? Cool. All right, we're all set to go then. Ethan, I'm going to hand things over to you to take us into ChainXLink.
All right, thanks, Tony. So we'll run through a level. So ChainXLink is set up as basically you run through different grave levels in this giant mega dungeon known as the Grave. So we'll try to run through one of these grave levels today during our time here. So I'll set the stage. There are many levels throughout the Grave. Each one is governed by a warden, some kind of intelligent creature that has been appointed by the crown to rule over this level and ensure that all the breakers within it are abiding by whatever rules are in place. Their main objective as breakers within the Grave is to mine a magic enhancing purple mineral known as Ambraxite that is required for anyone to gain sustenance while here in the Grave, and it is also what fuels the crown in their tyrannical excursions. So we'll start today's session as the three of you are each leaders in some manner or form of different factions in the life above. You've also all been chained together, as is customary, through those in the Grave. But because of that, the spellbound magic that forms your chain is also a loophole that allows the three of you to do something called the Ascent, which allows you to move up through the different levels of the Grave without being harmed by any of the creatures within it, as long as you satisfy certain rites. These rites of ascension are all governed by the wardens of the Grave. So your objective through each level is to figure out what's going on, gather enough assets in order to challenge the warden of the Grave, beat them in a trial so that they will permit you to ascend to the next Grave level. Make sense? Awesome. All right. So let's set the stage here. This level, this is a level known as Ink Vein. It's not the most bottom level. It is not the top. It is somewhere in between in the Grave. The Ink Vein level is named so for the giant wide river of black ichor that flows through this level, cleaving it in two. On one half of this level is a forest of gnarled trees growing over a rocky outcropping and sustained by a sickly pale purple glow from a giant Ambraxite crystal that's suspended in the air. On the other side of the river, clinging to the banks of this black water, are paper mills powered by their water wheels and turning the trunks of these trees into pulp. The pulp is immediately processed into low quality newsprint next to the paper mill, which is used to print the crown's news, known as the Regal Herald. And through magic, those newspapers are sent up to the life above. This operation happens continuously throughout the level, and all breakers here are part of this system here. So we begin our level with the three of you running through the gnarlwood where all these trees are. You each have a rope, and you are tugging this massive tree that you have felled, and not just felled, you've uprooted. You've uprooted this tree, and you are tugging it along to the banks of the river. At the roots of the tree, you see clinging on are purple ambraxite gems that are like stuck to the roots of these trees. You are not alone. There are other chains of breakers that are also doing the same thing, all pulling their own respective trees full of ambraxite at the roots to the riverbank. One by one, the chains, you included, get on top of these trunks and start trying to ferry the trunks across the river. Behind you, you can hear screams, and one of the breakers from another chain says, looks like the demon got him. Let's get going all. And everyone pushes off the banks and starts ferrying across the river. While that is happening, you see, as seems to be expected by other chains on their trunks, these black, milky tentacles start coming out of the Black Icarus River, trying to grasp at people, you all included. These, are sable squids, and they do not like to be interrupted in their home. But you need to get this trunk to the other side of the river to the paper mill. And that's where we set our stage. So why don't we go around this virtual room and introduce your character, maybe what their name is, their pronouns, a quick few word description of what they look like or personality, and then their repute, what they're known for, and then the faction that they lead in some regard. So why don't we start with Tony?
Yeah, I'm playing Yuri the Ruin Sage. Let's go. She they for Yuri. Let me update that real quick. My repute is crooked, which gives me the special ability Finders Keepers. The one making the call isn't the one doing the work. Once per level, I can reset my opportunity die to take one reward before the leader distributes them. I am part of the Veritanist. Is that correct?
Verinists.
Verinists.
Yep.
I put an extra in there.
No
I once served as the advisor and trusted confidant of the heir. When a breaker uses an experience on the chain sheet for a contribution, add 1 to their contribution roll. I've got my equipment is one last job, knives of night, and a shameful secret. I can dive into any of those if we want to, but that's what they are. I also have eyes everywhere, a temporary refuge, and house funds are the things that I have as my equipment. My goals are locate the air rally supporters and attack the palace. Let's see. I think I'm thin, kind of gaunt, fair skin, like dark, kind of like tired looking eyes. It's very evident that I'm trying to maintain something of a regal composure, even down here chained together with everyone else. The clothes that I'm wearing, though tattered and torn, have obviously had an attempt to care for them, as any good member of the True Heirs Court would care about comporting themselves.
Of course.
Yeah.
And what is the crime that the crown
I mean, you can call it a crime if you want. But I mean, look, when the heir comes back, we need as many relics as possible for them. I was really just holding on to the relic that they said I stole. And so I'm down here for relic theft. But it really, this is about putting things back where they belong, not taking things from other people.
Understood. Great. All right, Quinn, why don't you go next?
Yeah. So I am playing as Tao Ken. Their title is the Dark Star. I think that their pronouns are probably they, them. They are the part of the faction called the Worm Callers. Their repute, the way that people know them is that they are a defector, uh, with the special ability of insider knowledge. You've lived the lies long enough to discern them. Whenever you move an experience from your breaker sheet to your chain sheet, increase your opportunity die by one. My leader ability is called Flight Seer. You read the movement of the worms in the night sky to guide your actions. Whenever a breaker makes a contribution roll that has at least 2 dice with the same number, that breaker may add one to their contribution score. Equipment wise, I currently have a silk shield cloak. It is lightweight, camouflaged, and armored. I think that my character is uh, very much a wisp of a being. It is surprisingly stringy, like muscle wise, very like old man muscle, but keeps it very hidden under layers, under cloaks, and the such. Um, and my crime, if you can even call it that as well, is espionage.
Great. All right, and Andrew.
Yeah, I'm going to be playing Avery. How did you imagine pronouncing this when you wrote the name?
Whatever you want to pronounce it.
Averu, Averu,
There you
Averu.
go.
There we go. The Veilfarer. He, him, like raggedly old, like very like there is not a centimeter on their face that doesn't have a wrinkle. Very stout, round individual, wearing quite a bit of what seems to be like religious attire that's been worn down during their time in the grave, and just kind of like a like tabard type stuff. And yeah, so Averu was brought here. His crime was speaking with the dead, and it's more about providing a service. Sometimes people just need to chat with their loved ones and get the information about where the will is or something like that, or where they maybe stash some imbraxite from the crown, stuff like that. So maybe I got a little too involved, a little in over my head, just providing a service that happens to be heresy. So my repute is heretic. My special deed is not my gods. The deed is its own reward. Whenever you assist someone not in your chain, if a reward is offered to you, you do not take it. You may secure a link to one experience involving the higher powers you serve. I also am a leader in the Orzite Freedom Militia. Um, and I instigate. You push people to confront their plight. Whenever a breaker seizes the opportunity, that breaker may secure a link to an asset. So I'm basically just securing stuff, just all the way down. And yeah, that's a Veru.
Awesome. Thanks. All right. So we'll go right back into the scene here, with the three of you trying to ferry this massive tree trunk across this Icarus River, being assaulted by squid-like entities. So this is where we would go into something called a trial. This is the whole resolution system of ChainLink here. And so how this works is that I, as the Grave Master or GM, roll a set of d10s based on the traits of the opposition involved here. And so if you are facing these sable squids have the traits of obscuring and razor toothed. And whatever traits are relevant to this trial, I roll a d10 for. So I would roll 2 d10s, and then I would pick the highest of the two. So I rolled a 5 and a 2. The highest number is a 5. And so I would take that 5 and add 10 to that to get the trial difficulty number, or the trial number of 15. So if you all go to the trial sheet on our lovely character keeper here, you'll see that it's basically a number line going from 0 up to at least 20. I've marked the trial number 15 is what we all need to beat in order to succeed this trial, or in other words, get across the river unscathed. So how this works is that You'll each go one by one, doing a contribution to the trial and making what we call a contribution roll. A contribution roll is made up of a pool of D10s. This is a D10 dice pool system. You add a D10 if you are using a relevant skill for the contribution. You add a D10 if you are using a relevant piece of equipment, and then you add a D10 if you're using a relevant experience.
I have
Makes
so
sense?
much irrelevant experience.
Hit him
There
for
might
me.
be-
Hit him for me one more time, just so I make sure I have them in hand. What are the 3 things we're adding?
Yep, and it's also on your character sheet. You add 1 dice if you're using a relevant skill, 1 dice if you're using a relevant experience, and 1 die if you're using a relevant equipment.
Cool.
So you can't use two pieces of equipment. Will still only get you 1 die.
Gotcha.
All right. So we'll start. Basically, we'll start with. Well, who wants to go first? For the sake of this.
I'll get in there.
All right, go for it. All right, Averu.
Just kind of like lugging it along and just tugging on that rope, and he just using his body weight the best he can to kind of push ahead. So I'm contributing again, just even to go above board, not to take your stick there, but like we're playing this semi-adversarial
Yeah. So
piece of like we want to contribute to what we're doing, but we have our own agenda as well because we want the reward at the end, at the last.
correct. So yeah,
person,
we
if you
could
wanna-
go through that. So basically, you're assembling this dice pool. You're gonna roll the dice and pick one of the numbers as your contribution score. That is what goes on this total contribution sheet. So say I got a 3. The next your contribution succeeds if the number you chose meets or beats the previous contribution score. That's the key thing. I'll repeat that. Your contribution succeeds if your score meets or beats the previous contribution score.
So I kind of want to contribute low if I'm trying to be helpful.
So that means, yep, exactly. If you're starting the trial, you probably want a lower number to begin with. A, because the first person who contributes always succeeds. And B, the lower the number, the easier it is for the next person to succeed.
Gotcha. Cool.
So there's that cooperation aspect. And then, Andrew, to get to your point of the semi-cooperative aspect, whoever is the last person who succeeds, so who got basically the highest score, is the one who
pushes it over the line.
Pushes it over the line, gets to decide how the rewards are distributed. So you will get some rewards at the end for making it across, but whoever got the highest number gets to decide how it's all distributed.
Cool.
And you, as a leader of your own faction, would probably want to keep the best stuff for yourself.
Yeah.
Once you do, as a total, pass this trial number, everyone has the option to keep pushing their luck and keep going higher, right? Just because the first person exceeded 15 doesn't mean no one else can try to keep exceeding 15. If you fail at that point, you still suffer consequences, though. But you get what you want. You get what you want with consequences versus not getting what you want and having consequences. Make sense?
Yeah.
All right, Andrew.
So I'm gonna call out using my bell staff and the tag forceful on it. They're called tags, right?
Yeah, or traits or whatever.
Yeah, traits.
I accept anything.
Either. So yeah, I'm just kind of like leveraging that as best I can, and then I'm also I have the skill preserve. Like I'm trying to get us like through this situation, trying to lock in. Just like this feels like, you know, we've been going so far. I really want to make sure that we keep that momentum, especially with a tree. So yeah, that'll give me 2d10.
2d10. You roll 2d10 and pick either number.
Okay, I got a 10 and a 4, so I am going for the 4.
All right. So what we would do is on the trial sheet, we would mark the 4 there. So I will reset that and just highlight this. So that's the 4. And then because you picked not the highest number of your dice pool, right? You had a 4 and a 10. If you pick not the highest number, you tick your opportunity die up by 1. So opportunity die is the other mechanic you want to keep in mind. Every time you do a contribution and you don't pick the highest die, your opportunity die goes up by 1. And then at any time you do a contribution, you can replace one of the dice you just rolled with your opportunity die.
So there's like a floating meta currency of D10s that we can pull from if we
Yep.
wanted to get more in there.
Yep, and that's called seizing the
Like kind of
opportunity.
advantagey reroll stuff.
Exactly.
Cool.
Once you use or seize the opportunity, that die goes back down to 1, and then it just keeps building up.
Awesome.
Okay. So yeah, Averu, you are trying to preserve everyone's lives as you're trying to ferry this thing across this trunk across the river. These tentacles try to avoid this prodding, but they're still trying to go after you. So, Andrew, since you just went, you get to decide who goes next.
All right. Let's see what Yuri's got to bring to the table.
All right.
Yuri, you're up. What do you got?
Let me look at my experiences. Not that any of those are going to be particularly helpful for me in this particular situation. And my equipment. Oh.
If you can justify an experience as a motivating force, I will allow it to.
Oh, no, I get that. That's yeah. I have some that I think would fall into that. I think in this particular moment, it doesn't make as much sense. So, I do want to get an extra die on the board here. So let's as everyone's kind of loading on, here's the thing I know. Here's the thing I know, is that people will take money to act against their own self-interest. So I'm going to use my housed funds. I mean, it's got the trait of vast, so I've got access to money. I'm gonna as we're everyone's loading up, as we're starting to push off, I'm gonna lean over to one of the other breakers, and like one of the breakers on a different log, and say, hey, if somebody from your chain happens to fall in the water, I'll have a little gift for you on the other side,
Okay.
and just offer to bribe them a little bit in order to essentially create a distraction by acting against their own team.
Okay, I like that. So what house funds are actually under your faction sheet, not your breaker sheet.
So I missed the line there. That's totally my fault.
That's totally fine.
That makes more sense. I was like, how do I have a shit ton of money down here?
If only.
Me reading. Well, then that would have been a good plan. No, I'll just write it all out straight up then. For right now. And that's a 6.
A 6. All right. So because that was your only die, it's automatically your highest die. So you
That's
don't
correct.
tick up your opportunity. So it goes from a 4 to a 10, with the contribution score being a 6. We can certainly say you were trying to bribe someone.
Yeah, I still made that offer.
Yeah,
It just,
perhaps with some Embraxite or something, right? Like, hey, we'll offer you one of these. And the breaker on that chain sees
rock if you kill your friend.
Yeah, basically. The breaker sees your offer and gives you she gives you a wink and pretends to stumble as she brings down her chain so that one side of the chain is on one side of the log and the other side of the chain is on the other side of the log as they are trying to swim now across. I will mention that every time you do use an equipment or an experience or what we call assets, you have to stress a link. So what you would do there is you would turn that black circle into a white circle.
okay.
So like Andrew, since you use your bell staff, you would do that. You can get those back when you rest, basically. All right. So Tony, you just went. You get to decide who goes next.
I'll pick Quinn.
Let me see.
So we could cut him out. Just ping pong back and forth.
It's very true.
We could.
Yes, it's true.
Oh no, I'm the middle link of this chain. Y'all are whispering around me.
You just like constantly like see eye contact that doesn't directly at you, and you just know.
Very, 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 very funny.
Yeah. What does Talken do? What do they do?
So I think that in this instance, they've seen these creatures before, yeah.
Yes, you are familiar with
Okay.
these creatures.
I feel like Tal has probably spent some time just paying attention to the creatures, just the same as like the other breakers and whatnot, to see and understand like the general like hierarchy of things. I think I'm gonna use my skill of impersonation to try and make the call of one of their predators,
Ooh, I like that.
to try and like scare them off almost.
For
Love
sure,
it.
for sure. So that's
Um,
one die. Is there anything else you want to use?
What does that sound like?
Call.
Ah! Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I got you. I don't. I think that's probably all. So
Okay, so you're only rolling one die, and you need to get a 6 or higher.
So if I want to use like a leader ability,
Yes.
do I need to declare that in advance, or is that always see the die roll thing?
So
and-
the leader ability is only active for whoever is the leader of the chain. So
Gotcha.
it's whoever went first.
Gotcha.
Which would have been.
So that's so our Avaru right now could use their leader ability, but that is who is able to.
Correct. So usually leader abilities are things that they benefit everyone. They're triggered,
Okay.
so everyone benefits from the leader
Cool.
ability. So right now the leader is Averu right now.
Which, for reference, mine is you push people to confront their plight. Whenever a breaker seizes the opportunity, which would be the trigger, that breaker may secure a link to an asset.
That's actually your special ability. That's your repute ability.
It comes from
not your.
it comes from your faction, the Ozerite Freedom Militia.
Yeah.
You are an instigator.
That's the ability that happens to everyone. Your special ability under your repute is just for you that you can use. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the one where whenever a breaker seizes the opportunity, that breaker may secure a link to an asset.
Cool.
That is valid for everyone right now, as long as Averu is the leader.
Gotcha.
so just
all right. So just one
just
die.
and I rolled a 5.
So you rolled a 5. So a 5 is not equal to or greater than a 6. So you would fail this. There is a mitigation mechanic in here that if you so choose, you can stress an additional link to an asset that you were using as part of the contribution to add +1. But I don't think you were using any assets. You're just using your skill. So you cannot use it. So you add 5 to the 6. So that gets you, so that it would be a failure because it's not, you're not adding to the total contribution there.
Yeah.
Because you're a chain, you all succeed as a chain. You also all fail as a chain.
Boo.
So let's see here. Tao, why don't you describe what happens, perhaps, as you're attempting to emulate the call of a predator?
What could go wrong?
So I think it may just simply be the fact that I have heard this creature before, and I do emulate it well enough, but it turns out that it's actually the other way around.
Yeah.
And this,
Oh,
this
you
is
did the
actually
praying
something
noise?
that they hunt.
Yo.
So I think I end up calling even more to our tree.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. So you've actually become a distraction for all the other chains that are now making it free and clear across the bank, as your chain is swamped by these tentacles, and the 3 of you go under. You are resurfaced at the other side of the bank with your tree trunk, but with significantly less Embraxite at the roots of the trunk for you to harvest. So because you failed the trial as a chain, you all, I'm not pointing any fingers, you didn't succeed the trial number, which means you suffer a major consequence.
Okay.
Which means you each suffer a major consequence.
Party white.
That means you all have to choose one of these to happen to your breaker. Okay. One, you can take severe harm, which is you remove one of the assets from your sheet. You completely take it off. 2, the opposition will return in a future trial. So these squids will return. Or 3, you suffer 2 minor consequences, which would be a minor consequence being you just sever a link to one of your assets. So you exit out instead of remove the
Okay.
You receive one less reward from the trial. So those are the two other things you could do, but those would happen twice. Does that make sense?
Okay. I mean, here's I don't know what y'all are thinking. And I know these squids just beat the shit out of us, but now we know not to make the sound of their prey. I would just vote squids come back later.
Okay.
How do y'all feel about that?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Great. You each have to choose one. It's one.
We
per
each have to
breaker.
choose one.
Sweet. So this
I
only
choose
works.
squids come back later.
All right. Squids are coming back. All right. What happens for you, Andrew?
Let's see. So I can stress a link.
You can sever 2 links, or you remove the entire asset. So severing isn't just erasing the circle; it's Xing the circle out.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, well, in the example of like my forceful that I already have as a open circle,
Yep. You can X
I
that
could
one
just
out.
do that one.
That's
right?
one.
So
Yeah.
that's one, and then I
Mhm.
just need to do another, and it has to be on the same equipment, or is it?
It could be
anywhere?
on any of your. Yep. Whatever you think is narratively appropriate.
Okay.
When you X something out, when you sever it, it's usually like damage to a piece of equipment, or there's some kind of like realization or character development that changes your perspective on
Can
experience.
you do this? You can do, yeah. So it's okay.
Yep. So you can do it on experience too.
Yeah. Let's see. I think for experiences, I have zealotry and loyalty. I think maybe on the loyalty.
Sure. Yeah. You're
a little
this-
less loyal after all that.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
failure doesn't feel so good.
I'm not jiving with this.
Yeah.
I'm
and-
not jiving with you guys right now.
All right. And Quinn, what happens to Tao?
I think that so if I take what was the last one? The last one was lesser, or I have to take 2 of those?
You take 2 of the lesser ones, which is you'd have to sever 2 links or receive 1 less reward than you normally would.
Can I split between those? Can I receive less reward and sever just 1?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I think I'm gonna receive less and also sever link on my shield, silk shield cloak. I think. Do I pick which one of those 3?
It doesn't matter.
Or
it looks like they're tied, but you can still use any 3 of those while you still have a link
cool.
severed. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think my cloak ends up taking the brunt of this.
Love it. All right, cool. All right. So you drag your tree trunk up into the paper press, and one of the chains there that are overseeing the harvesting looks at your trunk, and they frown, and they start chipping away at the roots there. You look around and you see all the other chains that have brought their undisturbed trunks across the river, and their bountiful tree roots of Imbraxite are being chipped off. And you see as the tithes are being taken for the warden, those breakers are each receiving Imbraxite. Unfortunately for you all, there's not enough for you to go around.
What are the chances we could hot swap our log with somebody else's? No.
Yeah, definitely. So you would have gotten Imbraxite, but because you're receiving 1 less reward, that does not actually happen here.
Boo.
So you did get Imbraxite across, just nothing for you to keep. So
No extras.
no extras for you to keep. Everything is being in service to the warden's tithe. All right. So that's an example of a trial there. Do we have any questions as to how that worked?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So those severed links come back on a rest, correct?
Correct.
Cool.
You can only rest if each of you has at least 1 link of Imbraxite to give up. That gets sent up to the crown as payment, and then they'll send back down through magic some tasty gruel.
That's like my favorite part of the book, by the way. It's
Yes.
like such a you have to like sit down and say a prayer to the Holy
Yep,
Emperor,
you
and
do.
then you get food.
Yep. Yes. There is a line that you all have to say together in prayer in order to get the food. Okay, so a little disgruntled, the three of you trudge off the end of your shift back to Inktown. Inktown is the town where all the breakers live within this grave level here. It's a pretty humble town here. It's got lodgings. It's got a theater of all things, and a bar. You notice a lot of commotion going on within the bar. A lot of the chains there, after their shift, are heading straight towards the bar. Inside, you see that there's a crowd circling one of the tables. They're all trying to shuffle their way and shoulder their way to get to the front of this table here. And that is the sight before you right now. What would you all like to do?
I think as far away as we can all be from each other.
I know you farted. I know it was you.
Shush. It was someone else here. There's someone else. I think I want to probably try and keep an eye to see, like, not even what's going on at the table, but just like who is the most enthralled around the table.
Sure, definitely. Yes. Before I do that, before I forget, at the end of that trial, whoever succeeded last, which I believe was Tony's character, is now the leader of the chain.
Okay.
So it switches from Andrew's character to Tony's character.
Gotcha.
So yeah, definitely. Tao, you look around, and you notice that like you probably like stand on a chair or something nearby, so you get a better vantage point. There seems to be like everyone's crowding around what looks like to be like a piece of paper around that's sitting on the table. There's some commotion going on. People are like, "What is it? What does this mean?" Kind of thing. Who brought this here? Those kind of questions. You notice that there's actually one of the breakers in a different chain comes up to you. This is Rain. Rain is actually a member of your faction. She was sent down here a little after you were, and was enthralled to hear that you were still alive. And ever since, she has been kind of an ally to you and your chain. She drags her chain along and says, "Oh, I'm glad you all made it across the river. We heard there was another demon sighting. How are you all doing?"
Well, we lost people to this one.
Yes. You're asking me as the GM. Quinn.
I think
you,
in character.
Okay. Yes. She'll say, "It appears so. At least two of the chains didn't make it back. It seems like these demon attacks are getting worse, and Prevera doesn't seem to be doing anything about it. Prevera, as you know, is the warden of this level."
Yeah. And I will ask you as DM, do we know the general vibe of our warden? Essentially, like
Great question. Yeah. So Prevera is known as basically she is the editor of the Regal Herald in all but name. She used to be the editor in The Life Above, but after some mysterious circumstances, she lost that job and is now a warden of this grave level. Prevera is known to have the ability of farsight, in that she can grant people the ability to see things not in their immediate vicinity. She uses this as a carrot for her breakers. So anyone who provides extra Ambraxite to her, she allows them a glimpse into the life above. Okay. It's a way for them to get some semblance of a connection to their loved ones still up above, some confidence that, you know, the people that they are caring for are still there and are safe. And because of that, Prevera's kind of
FaceTime a friend, like
yes,
the idea.
but she uses ink magic to do it.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's like,
A
but it's essentially
rectangle black
yes,
thing of
yes,
ink.
Yes. She's FaceTiming. You can't communicate, but you can see the image and be like, "Who do you want to see right now?" She can give you a glimpse like that. Because of that, the breakers on this level are actually like pretty chill with her. they're like, this is probably the best we're gonna get down here in the grave.
Because it's kind of like transactional, right?
Exactly.
Like,
It's
Yeah.
very
manage it.
transactional. You do your
Very
job.
realistic.
She gives you as much of a connection to the life above as
Yeah.
you're ever going to get. And because of that, a lot of chains stop their ascent here. Up to this point, I think you all three might be thinking the same thing, right? You haven't ascended in a while. There hasn't been much to push you to do that while you've been down here.
Are we able to see the paper that everybody's gathered around?
You can muscle your way through.
Yeah.
You as the leader kind of get to choose where
Cool.
this chain gets to go.
Yep, we're
So
going that way.
Yeah, y'all are. Yeah, as they finish their conversation, I move
you're
over.
like,
to
come
the
on,
three.
let's go. Okay, great. So Yeri, she pushes her chain through, and you see at this table seems to be kind of notes, like correspondent notes of some kind of reporter who is listing the events that have been happening in the life above. In fact, this news that is on these notes are all dealing with the factions that you all represent. So that would be the Varanists, the Wormcallers, and the Orzite Freedom Militia. So as you're reading through this, the actual events that you are reading will be described through what we are doing now called a faction trial. So what you all just did now before was a grave trial, a trial in the grave as breakers. So we're going to transition to a faction trial, a trial where instead of playing as breakers, you are now representing your entire faction.
Now I should
in
look
the
at my
life
vast
above.
amounts of.
Now you
untraceable
look at your
energy.
vast amounts of
All right,
house
all
funds. So there you go. So here it's the exact same thing as we did before, except instead of a trial number of 15, all trials in the life above are against each other and the crown. The crown being ever present and overwhelming means the trial number is always, you guessed it, 20.
There we go.
So this is the same thing basically, and then instead your objective for each of you is to attain the first goal in your faction sheet. So you're trying to get these goals in order. So all the contributions you're doing at this point are in service of your goal.
Okay.
And because Tony, as Yeri is leader, your faction goes first. So what would you like to do?
So this is the faction doing the thing, right? Like, so
Correct.
I'm just choosing a thing my faction is doing.
Correct.
Yes. All right.
Yeah. So what
Like
assets
we're
are you
reading this
pulling?
paper, but we're like in the mechanics. We're zooming out to like kind of get
To-
the
yeah,
report
okay,
of
cool.
what's going on. and the-
Yeah.
Got
I think this article, the article we're reading, then is so we have 1D to start in this, and then we don't have skills in this, so we are just looking at equipment and experience, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. I think we are going to use house funds, of course, because they're vast and untraceable. And I think we're going to use the experience eyes everywhere, because what we are trying to do is locate the exiled heir is our first one. And so in addition to the fact that the Varanists have a large spy network of nobility spread around, we're also going to have a bounty put out through that nobility to their fiefdoms to promise a large amount of Embraxite to anybody who can bring us information leading to the located exiled heir, to help locate the exiled heir.
Love it. So you would stress a link to each of those assets.
Cool.
So instead of a black circle, it's a white circle. And then you'd roll a total of 3 dice, 3d10, and pick one.
All right. What does failure do here, just out of curiosity?
Failure here would result in none of you getting your goal achieved. So whoever beats the 20 and is the last person to beat the 20 gets their goal.
Okay.
Everyone else doesn't get their goal.
And we move back and forth. Like last time, I was like, Andrew picked me, and I was just like, I'll pick Quinn, so we each get a chance to play. From a player standpoint,
Correct.
like that makes sense. But to a certain degree, there may be times at which we pass things back and forth, in different ways in order to prevent somebody. Like I could have picked Andrew again to go next had
Correct.
I wanted to. Okay, so
Yeah.
you can
There is a metagame
you can
component
freeze
to
somebody
this.
out. I just want to make sure that I'm
Yes, you
understanding.
can freeze somebody out, but that person could be like, "Hey, I got an asset that you would want. If
Yeah.
you don't freeze me out, I'll give you this asset." Or
Yeah,
something.
I mean, because the other
Yeah.
big thing in this point is with a challenge of 20, someone's going to go more than once, more than likely. Like
Correct.
in order for us to be able to get where we need to get. I mean, the thing that makes the most sense for me then is to pick the one that I rolled, and do that.
Very well. So the first contribution is a 1.
Do the individual abilities still matter for this test? The leader ability. So is my leader ability in it does not. That's only for when we're doing breaker level stuff.
Correct.
Cool.
Yep.
Perfect.
No,
That's
there's
awesome.
no opportunity. There's no leader repute.
That's fine.
Things.
I
It's
just
a
wanted to
faction.
double check.
Yep. It's a good question. But you get to decide who goes next.
Who do I love the most? Let's see. Let's look at y'all's factions real quick because I think that's more.
Yeah, I'll give you a little background of them. The Varanists, as you could tell, Tony, probably are. Their whole thing is they want to install an exile there into the crown. The exile there being Varen. The Worm Callers are a mysterious sect. The worms are basically like dragon-like entities. The grave that you all reside in as breakers is basically the grave of the daughter of the Great Worm. Okay. So there's a legend that the emperor at the time shot an arrow into the sky and killed the daughter of the Great Worm. She fell, and her body resides in what you all see as the grave. So their whole thing is like they're trying to summon the daughter's dad or mother or whatever parent. And then the Orzite Freedom Militia is just one of the many cultures that are being oppressed by the crown. And so they're just trying to, as one would think, not be oppressed anymore. So it's kind of their whole deal.
Yeah, I think I view the Orzite Freedom Militia as more aligned with my goals in this. So I'm going to pass it to Andrew.
Okay. So I'm kind of like, just to clarify here, so I'm kind of pitching to you like something in this newspaper that is a story about the Orzite Freedom Militia from above that's been happening recently unto the goal of uniting my rebel kin.
You got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's been a lot of interaction and just to play off of what Tony was saying with the I'm going to use alleyway informants. So like in some of the things going on with this like stuff installing, we've got some factions trying to install new rulers. There's the active, crown that is oppressing us. I feel like there's been a little bit of playing the sides against each other and allowing us to get ahead. And so like there's clearly something going on, but we're picking up at it in our our patrol routes, and we're able to hopefully get ahead there. So I'm going to use alleyway informants.
Okay.
So that's just going to be
it's 2 dice.
That's 2 dice. Okay.
Yep.
I got a 9 and a 4. Man, I guess we're use that 4.
You gotta use that 4, I guess. So you're up to 5.
I don't know.
Now.
I could put Quinn in an interesting spot.
Yeah, if you went up to 9, that could be something.
Well, to that logic, real quick. So, like, if I went with a 9, that means Quinn has to roll a 10.
9 or 10.
Not because it's meter.
You
beat.
meet
Okay.
it, or yeah.
Meter beat. Yeah.
That's brutal. And then,
but that would put you over. I think to the trial number would hit 20 at that point.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. All right. Gotcha.
But the chance of Quinn getting a 9 or 10
is only 20%.
Is only 20%. Well, plus whatever dice roll.
I guess that's
how many
true.
dice you do. But yeah.
Throw them all.
Yeah. All right, Andrew, who would you like to go next as your
Get
faction
there,
is trying to yeah, go for it.
All right. So the first goal of the Worm Callers is to decode the star charts. So I believe that
I'm a Virgo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's your worm sign?
Yeah. I think that
My worm is in retrograde.
oh, I like I like the vibe of my people just being like truly like weirdo cult of like not even understanding their own magics.
Love it.
But essentially um being under the influence of something and then giving each other like tattoos while under the influence of this thing
Okay.
and using those tattoos as like a decoder like towards
Yeah, yeah,
this
yeah. Like a
choice.
cipher or something. Yeah. I love that. Sure. So.
So I want to use access to the observatory.
Mhm.
So we pay off the crown astrologers for access to high quality instruments and records. I think primarily for the records, and also I'm going to use the equipment of star tattoos.
All right. Love it. So you stress a link to each of those, and you roll 3d10 and pick one.
Oh, wait, not the check. This side. There we go.
You got it.
And this side. Nope. There we go. Awesome. And now that is 3d10.
3d10. Pick one.
3d10. Pick one.
You gotta meet or beat a 4.
Hell yeah. I rolled 2 10s and a 3, so I'm gonna be picking a 10.
Oh,
Okay. The other option is you pick a 3, but then you stress an extra link to get up to a 4.
Quinn's not doing that.
No.
All right. Fair enough.
I know that answer.
So it's a 10.
it's a 10.
Yeah. So yeah, you're making progress as you are gaining access to these observatories. Who would you like to go next?
Oh man, we're making really good progress, y'all.
Yeah,
We're doing so good at
tenfold
this.
progress.
I think that I'm gonna keep it spinning the way that it is. I'm gonna toss it to Tony.
All right,
Alright.
Tony.
All right. So, yeah, obviously that we read that first article. Turns out there's been a lot of sightings of the air somewhere in the Rhymecrest Mountains. So a significant contingent of the Varanus are going to take temporary refuge out there to spend time looking for the lost air. I'm just going to mark those 2, or that one
Okay.
rather.
So you roll 2 dice. Pick whichever one and hope it's a 10.
All right. I have an 8 and a 10. I don't know that it matters either way.
Well, if you pick a 10,
You're good.
you have to pick a 10 because
have
it needs
to
to be
pick a 10.
higher than the previous person.
Oh, because the previous one was a 9, right? Like that's
It was,
No, it was a
it was a 10.
it was a 10.
I think
Oh, it
Quinn
was
rolled
a
a 10, so you have to pick a 10.
I have to
Yeah.
pick a 10. Okay.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
You could pick pick
fail
the
it.
I could
8.
pick the 8
And
then
let
we'd
me
fail.
Yeah.
be the
And-
one who.
Well,
applies the
Well, no,
Well-
because if we fail, we fail, right? Or is this?
If you fail, none of you get your goal
Oh,
because
no.
your total is still under 20 right now.
Yeah. And the
So-
crown is the big enemy. Like we are trying to do this faster than. So even though we are against each other, we are also all against the crown, and that is what is being meted out. It's one of my favorite aspects about the original pitch of this game that's playing out really well, and the play of it is this isn't basic Prisoner's Dilemma. This is like actual, like the social elements of Prisoner's Dilemma that you actually have to play through and think through.
Yeah.
I really love it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, since I have to pick a 10, let's pick a 10.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So
Sick
10 is the
move.
next highest one. You have exceeded that. So at this point, Tony, your faction is going to get their goal. made.
Okay.
There is no point in you trying to choose someone else because why would you give them a chance? So it becomes an open door now. So now Andrew or Quinn, either of you can choose to go to try to one up Tony.
Oh, just get
And-
another 10?
If you can get another 10, then you become the highest person and you get the goal done. And this will keep going on until no one wants to contribute. If either Andrew or Quinn fail and don't get the 10, then Tony still gets the success,
Okay.
still gets the goal, but
yeah,
you
we're going
all
for it.
get a minor consequence. So all the factions will suffer still.
So if we choose
Oh.
to stop now, it's good for just me.
But no one takes any consequences.
But no one takes any consequence, so it's not bad for anybody. If we keep on
Correct.
going
If
up,
we get greedy,
that
Yeah.
individual could
that's fun.
get their thing But if they fail, something's bad for everybody.
Mhm.
If they get it,
Oh man.
does it
then
just
if they get it, then they're the highest, and
and then we go again. But they're the highest. That means no consequences, but only good for them. Gotcha. Cool.
Yep. So
So you
Andrew
just have to
Quinn,
roll 10s.
you want to roll? What are the chances you're gonna roll a 10?
I mean, if I roll 3 more dice, then the chance
That's
of
what I
rolling
was
10
thinking.
Look,
I'm
goes
like,
up.
I
here's the
could
deal.
throw
We've-
3
Here's the
dice.
deal. Locating the air is good for everybody. It cracks the limits of the throne's power. Like it doesn't hurt anybody. It's good for everyone. Everyone's a little excited. Your kin are happy. I'm sure there's a sign about this in one of the books. Don't worry about it.
Oh man.
Up to you all. You can let it stand, and no one gets hurt. But the Varanists do get their goal. They do find Varen.
What are you thinking, Andrew? You gonna let that stand?
Wait, but also wait. Hold on. Again, if they fail, it's me.
they
but
fail,
it's me, but bad for everyone. Also,
Correct.
But, okay.
Yes, you will. If you fail, no one else can contribute. That ends the trial.
How do consequences resolve for factions? I guess
For
is the main
factions,
question.
because you've already hit the 20, you'll only get a minor consequence.
Also,
Okay, so
another
we have to
question:
stress
when
one
do
of our links and
factions
everything?
reset their abilities, or do they?
Every time you do a faction trial.
It starts again. Okay.
Yes, but that only happens like once a level, so there's
Gotcha.
that to think about. You have
So wait,
considerably
if it
less
resets-
assets.
If it resets
Mhm.
every time you do one, what is the lingering consequence of it being severed then?
Severed is Xing it out.
Oh,
Stressing
sorry,
it is
stressing
nothing.
it.
So there's no lingering consequence for stressing it out.
If it's
Oh, so
severed,
then
what
let's go
happens?
for it.
Severed is basically you lose max HP. So it's one less link that gets regenerated.
And
next time you
it
play.
would not regenerate on the
Yeah.
next level.
Yes, correct.
Okay,
That's
cool.
what would happen.
So that is
I understand now. Got it.
yeah,
so running it all the way down is a last resort because you no longer have that option.
correct. Yeah, and you don't have a lot to begin with. You
Yeah.
have 3 here, so it's up to you all. This is meant more for like few shot play or campaign play.
Yeah.
As a one shot, you're all kind of incentivized to just burn through everything.
I think I'm just gonna do
but,
it. Also, I'm looking at Quinn, and you're crazy.
I like how you're like I like that. That's the immediate response. I've got to do this because otherwise Quinn will.
I know
is,
Quinn's gonna.
is the
Like, I
essential
have to.
prisoner
All right,
dilemma.
Andrew, go for it.
Okay, so let's see. I need to do that still. Wait, where is it? Oh, I did it already. Alleyway informants. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that like in hearing the rumblings of what's going on, the Orzite Freedom Militia has been kind of trying to again still play both sides here. But we're starting to employ a little bit more of our magical skill here. So I think I'm going to pull on the circle magic of the Orzites as well. And I don't know if I just go for broke. And we're trying out some new stuff that uses the wood from the Rasian forest. That we have as,
so a new focus for your magic.
We're like employing that alongside
Yeah.
the Ambraxite.
You know what else is a circle? The
spicy.
circle of life.
Hell yeah!
That's a circle.
And
So.
tree rings.
Tree
See?
rings. Love it.
Circle.
You figured it out. You've solved my tree puzzle,
I
my circle
did.
puzzle. All right, that's 3 dice.
Son of a bitch. That's 2 7s and a 6.
All right. So you could pick the 7, but then you'd have to stress 3 more links to one of your assets.
Wait, is there?
That's the mitigation mechanic
Okay.
there.
Oh,
So
right, because
you could continually add +1 for every additional thing you sever, or stress. Does that make sense? Did I explain that correctly?
You can boost each if you want to boost it by 1. You can put more stress on your.
got it.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so I could boost the 7 up to a 10.
But you'd have to stress 3 more links off your.
And do you have because you
go for it.
what have you stressed so far? Can you and you can stress multiple things on the same thing for that?
You can only stress the assets you use as part of the contribution.
Yeah, which I used all 3 of these, so I
Okay.
can basically I would have 1 that's not stressed in Orzite
Yeah.
Magic and Raging Forest, but
Correct.
otherwise, yeah, we bled ourselves for this one.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So not quite what you were able to do there. I think what happens is as you attempt to use the woods from the Rand Forest, there are already crown agents there patrolling the area. They've heard that there's probably some going on there, and you've lost some of your contingent there as they've been arrested in the Rand Forest.
This unites my rebel kin.
Yes. Well, hold on. Did you get up to a 10?
Yeah.
Oh, you're severing them all?
So I went
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I apologize. I didn't understand what you were
I
saying.
just clicked it wrong.
Okay. So you got your 10. That opens the door again to Quinn and Tony. Do either of you want to one up and try to get a 10?
Apparently, when Andrew looks at you, they just assume you're going to do this. So
It's very tempting. We're burning resources, so it feels like just the thing to do.
Yes, it is the thing with the one shot is like I'm never coming back to this, so
it's
I'm
not
gonna burn
not
it,
campaign play.
Yeah, it's not campaign play. It's up to all of you.
Do you have any interest in going again, Tony?
you have to make that choice, Quinn.
Ooh,
You have to
that's a good
decide if
point.
you're going to
That's a
go
good
again
point.
or not.
Hey, I mean, in that case, I guess I am.
All right, go for it.
So I still need a 10.
You still need a 10.
I still need a 10.
Yeah.
So I start with 1.
Yep, 1 die.
I'm going to use my experience of friend of farmers, and I'm going to stress that link by essentially we have run out of flesh to tattoo on ourselves, so we are now inviting over farmers to tattoo them.
To tattoo the farmers or their livestock?
Yes, to tattoo the farmers.
Okay, all right.
And
just
they're
wanna
like,
clarify.
they offer
This
their
cow has a
livestock,
whole
and y'all are just
fleet,
like,
like-
no,
No.
no,
The
that's not-
cow is not what we need. We need some human skin.
So I think that I'm going to do tattoos and friend of farmers, and
All right.
stress both of those and roll 3 dice.
Roll 3 dice and hope you get a 10.
Easy.
Easy.
Real nice, real easy.
No worries. No worries.
Just not like that at all. That's it's a 4, a 6, and an 8.
4, 6, and 8.
That is a failure.
Can you
you can
stress
only mark
any more?
You can only stress 1.
Only one
I
more
can only
left.
stress 1.
Okay, so that's no go.
Yeah.
So yeah, the highest you can get is 9. Unfortunately, that doesn't work. So the trial ends with probably the Agrarian League's probably not really happy when they've realized that some of their members are being tattooed with star charts, which may not be the easiest to hide in the presence of the crown.
And because it's a failure, that is just the end, right?
That is just the end. Yes.
Yeah.
And then we all have to.
You all take a minor consequence.
Yeah, but Andrew is going
But
to
Andrew
unlock
gets
their first.
correct. But Andrew unlocks their first goal, which was uniting the rebel kin. So
We could have all been happy, but no.
We could have.
you could have all been happy.
I was happy.
So minor consequence. So you all either have to sever a link to one of your assets. You can't really receive one less reward. So you all have to sever a link to one of your assets.
And this is on the faction sheet?
On the faction sheet, correct. So that's completely Xing it out. You do not get it back on a refresh.
I think the farmers are upset with me.
Yeah, I think the farmers are upset with you as well. So
I don't know why.
That seems narratively appropriate to sever a link with them.
Oh, this is interesting.
Now I'm just acquaintances with the farmers.
Yeah. Yeah, and I do like as we write through this, you are welcome to like rewrite the things that are happening, right? So you may not be an ally anymore. Maybe you are
Yeah,
just
I
an
just
acquaintance.
burned through my alleyway informants, I think.
Yeah. Okay, there you go.
My house funds are still vast, but they're no longer untraceable.
Okay. Love that. All right. So we go back, zoom in on the breakers, reading through this newsprint, this news. Are there really notes? They're raw notes here. What is going on in all your heads? Especially, I want to hear from Averu as you're reading this, and you're like, "Whoa, like my faction's doing really well actually out there."
They're doing great, but they've like really had to, like I said, like bleed resources to get to this point. So like there's a bit of hope knowing that like there could be some progress in the world above, and when it comes to getting out underneath the thumb of oppression. So there's definitely like a bit of that hope, but genuine concern for like man, like I want to get in there. Like I want to make sure we're not losing resources. I want to make sure that I'm involved in what's going on, and yeah, just kind of FOMO.
Yeah. Hey, you'd
Put me in,
probably
coach.
if you were the leader at that point, you probably wouldn't have lost that asset.
No, I
right?
would've
You
done a
would have
better
managed
job.
it a lot better.
Yeah.
As you're all reading this, you also notice there are like notes written all over this manuscript that are like, cross this off here. Like, no, the crown didn't actually lose this part here. We actually did great here. Or like, let's play up the fact that we punished these farmers real bad. Like we burned down their crops because they betrayed us. And they're writing all these things down. Like, you know,
the tattoos weren't even good.
Tattoos weren't even good. You know, those house funds, we've reappropriated those house funds and we're now donating it to charity because the crown is great. Things like that. It's just like they're completely masking over all the successes that any of these factions have made. This is the first time you or anyone else on this level have seen a raw manuscript edited like this. When it gets to the print floor, all you get to read is how great the crown is crushing all the factions, which is probably why a lot of the people have lost hope at this point, because they think there's not much else going on. This is the first semblance of like, wait, like maybe the crown's not doing as good as we were all led to believe. There's a lot of hubbub about that as you're reading this.
And Varen has been found, right? For the Varanus. Tony, I forgot.
Because you succeeded.
No, for Tony's goal.
No, Tony
No,
did
you
not get his
ruined it
goal.
for me.
You ruined it for him. Yeah, the Crown's Guard actually were lying in wait at the Ramcrest Mountains at the entrance. They knew that there would be loyalists trying to go find Varen. But because there were so many Crown resources devoted to capturing Varen's loyalists, it seems like the Orazite Freedom Militia was able to move a little better.
All right.
So
Those assholes.
Yeah, so you're all kind of among this crowd of breakers and chains. They're just like, what is this? What is it that I'm looking at? You hear someone shout like, who got this? Where is this from? Like someone is like very like are we gonna get in trouble for even having this? And there's a rough burly breaker who kind of just looks around and says like, isn't it obvious? And then like kind of just doesn't address it any more than that. And just kind of looks around.
No, it's not. It's really not.
So what do you all want to do as you're reading this? I will say, look, Andrew, you won that faction trial, right? So you are the leader of the chain now, having read that.
All right. Yeah, what are we doing?
So I guess I imagine, reading this, you're probably more emboldened to attempt to do a rite of ascension, right? Let's restart this ascent now. You as the leader.
Now you want to go up.
Yeah, now you want to go up.
Look, I'm just saying they need my help.
Yeah. So if that is something you wish to do, we all know Prevera is open to letting people move up. They just have to give up some information about their factions to do it. You have to give up a lot of information to do it. No one actually does do that very often. The other thing, the other lines you can follow are there is a demon in Gnarlwood that is stirring up trouble. If you manage to locate or capture this demon, that will probably get you in Prevera's good graces. Or
as opposed to having to give up as much information about our faction.
Correct. Yes. And then B, tracking down the thread of like, where is this manuscript source? Because this is not something you should be able to see.
I'm fine with people seeing it. My curiosity is about the demon, just because that feels like a middle ground thing that we could all get behind.
Sure.
And like we all have taken a hit in terms of like seeing this manuscript, seeing what's going on the surface for our factions. Like again, even though like yes, we've succeeded in uniting the Orzite. Again, the supply is pretty tapped right now to get to that next goal. Yep. And so like I'd be far more invested in pursuing like a neutral lead that we can all get behind, take that out, and hopefully Prevera can let us continue on.
Okay, great. So you're all gonna head back into the woods, try to find this demon.
You guys down with that?
I mean, that's
What do I know about demons?
That's what the leader says.
Yeah, you know, there's all sorts of monsters in the grave. Some were
Yeah.
brought down here by the crown, and some were here before that. It's hard to tell what this is. No one has set eyes on it.
Like, even as a heretic, would I know what could be being talked about when they're
I mean,
referring
demons
to
are a
demons
thing, as
or-
far as you know.
Yeah,
These
okay.
are like incorporeal beings that usually grant powers to people on certain conditions.
So we could get powers also, is what I'm hearing.
You're like, I'd like to recruit the demon to
Yeah,
be a variant.
demon sounds somewhat trustworthy. Sure. So you all start heading out of the tavern. Before you head out, Tao, your ally from the other chain, Rain, she comes up to you and says, "Wait, where are you all headed back out to the woods?"
Yes, I think there's something along the winds. I think we have a link to something.
Listen, I've been hearing stories about that demon out there. It seems to be able to like. I've heard some chains. They say they see things out in that forest, things that they desire. It's what pulls them away. These chains. You might want to be a little careful when you're out there. That's all I'm saying. So she's giving you 2 experiences that you would all add to your chain sheet, not your individual breaker sheet. So a chain sheet is basically a sheet that's passed around the 3 of you. Not only can you use the assets on your sheet, the 3 of you can also use assets on the chain sheet. It's like the commons.
So like shared experiences. because
Shared
we were all there
experiences.
thing.
Exactly. You got it. Typically, when you get rewarded experiences, they automatically go on your chain sheet because you were all there. The only exception to that are secrets. So there could be something that someone only told the leader, and the leader gets to put it on, but no one else gets it.
Okay.
And then equipment can be put on the chain sheet or on anyone's sheet. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so I'll fill this out for you here. She tells you 2 things, right? There's a demon out in the Gnarlwood. That is, so that's kind of the first experience there. And then the second experience that she tells you is that there are illusions out in the woods that seem to be enticing the chains, and that's part of the reason why they are disappearing. So those are the demon in Gnarlwood is a 1 link experience, and then enticed by glimpses. That's a tongue twister. Is a 2 link experience. So these are things, just as a reminder, that you can use in addition to the stuff on your sheet. Cool. All right. So you head out back out to Gnarlwood. As you're going out there, basically, like where this demon's probably going to be is where you all normally aren't, kind of thing. So you go through the woods. There's this small rivulet that typically feeds part of the large Icar River that you follow upstream. And as you do that, you notice there's some like ghostly laughter that's hidden in the woods. As you all turn around, you see there is a young woman who is standing behind you. She looks at you all. She's in like very humble country garb, kind of like a farmer's family garb. And most notably, she is not chained to anything or anyone. She seems perfectly normal, which in the grave means perfectly abnormal.
Weird.
Yeah. And she looks at the 3 of you and she just smiles and says, you all look lost.
Oh, no, but I mean, can we help you, dear?
And she says, that depends. What is it all that you all are doing here?
We're going out into the woods.
I've seen many of your chains out here in the woods. You typically harvest the gnarlwood trees over on the other side of these hills.
We've done that, yes.
Hmm. Are you looking for more trees to harvest?
No, that like you said, that's usually best on the other side.
Hmm.
We're just kind of scouting the area, looking for, just making sure things are safe.
Yeah. Yes. Safe, she says. And as she's doing that, um, let's see here. What I'll ask Tao, what is it that like you catch a glimpse of something in the woods? What is it that Tao would be enticed by,
Ooh,
or at least attract attention by?
I think um I'm imagining uh essentially a place that used to be um also like where we would gather or like go to,
Mm-hmm.
but because of like tell of this beast, everyone was essentially too scared to be out that far. So
Hmm.
enough time passed that like it kind of became like run down and whatnot.
Okay,
uh
kind of like a resting area
yeah.
kind of thing. Okay, yeah. So you see this small outcropping, a little clearing here with like wooden or not wooden stone benches, things like that. Um, and this young woman notices your attention over there, and she gestures over there and says, "Would you all like to join me for a little respite?"
Sure.
Okay. So as the three of you walk with her, um, that's when you start noticing something. She's as you're pacing through, you feel the air get a lot colder. Um, and she's making conversation with the three of you. And she says, the three of you, I have heard talk in Inktown. Are you all desiring to challenge Prevera to a rite of ascension?
How
I've got quite a bit going on with my faction on the surface, and with the momentum in recent months of their successes, I'm eager to ascend.
She says. Before she stops you all, before you walk across the clearing into this the rest area here, and she turns back and says, "Would you like some help?"
Surely not for free.
And she smiles. As she smiles, you see the irises of her eyes, they flash purple for a second.
That's not
And
natural.
and she says, "Oh, of course, nothing is for free. Um, all I ask in return is perhaps you let me tag along."
to ascend?
Yes. You see, I grow tired of Inkvein and the Gnarlwood, and frankly, it is Prevera that is preventing me from returning to the life above. If
Well, you're
one of
not in
you,
chains. You're not exactly one of us.
she doesn't acknowledge that comment. um, she just continues and says,
Me?
uh, she ignores your comment and she continues and says, "No, it is Prevera that is preventing me from leaving, and if I help you defeat Prevera through your rite of ascension, then all I ask is that you allow me to accompany you as you escape."
How can you help us?
Um, and the woman smiles and she says, "Well, you see, Prevera and I are," and her image completely dissipates. And in her place is an older woman, a middle-aged woman. Seems like it's the same woman but
My kind
older,
of gal.
older. And she says, "We are quite close. and then the image reverts back to the younger form.
With
Chain huddle.
Go for it. She will not interrupt this chain huddle. Chain huddles are sacred and protected by magic.
with talk of demons,
Yes.
and with the fact that no one has seen said demons before, I mean, it is very.
I mean, you're a worm caller, right, Tao?
Yeah.
You know the supernatural. This is definitely demon adjacent,
this is
if
just a
not
Tuesday.
demon. Yes.
This is apparently
I
pretty
don't
chill
know.
to most of the
I don't know,
demons.
Yeah.
Ethan. I'm not sure.
I mean,
The person offering us the thing we want, if only we free them, can't be demon.
no, they're just living out here by themselves.
Just vibing in a glen.
Just vibing.
Yeah.
I mean, here's my question, my fellow gentlefolk. What if we just lie to it?
I mean,
Aren't
viable.
demons like bound by word and magically? I don't know. Like, if we say yes, I feel like. Are we really going to be able to pull the wool over their eyes?
I mean, I don't know, but let me ask you this question: do you think that a demon wouldn't lie to you?
Damn.
I mean, I'll also say this.
So wait, if they're lying to us and we're lying to them, which door do we choose?
Once he takes away one of the goats, it's much easier to pick the right answer.
I don't know if I see a downside to saying yes. I mean, I am also very much of a people that are perfectly fine with, making deals with the.
I'm a
beyond.
heretic. I dabble in all kinds of shit. So.
I normally wouldn't, but for y'all's sake, I'm willing to.
Appreciate the
think-
trust.
Yeah, I think worst case scenario can be used as a tool. If the situation arises and we need to make a distraction of sorts.
Oh, look, a demon. And then we all just go.
I feel like it's quite
I
distracting.
like that.
All right.
I'm in.
All right. So group huddle over, chain huddle over.
Oh, sorry.
so-
there was
yeah.
a thing. It had nothing to do with you.
Oh, she says, "Oh no, I understand. Have you made a decision?"
Say we were willing to help. What is the plan? Like we just go and say, "Hey, and then you just help. Like what is? How are you?
I
Again,
possess
Changing to us?
information. I possess information that perhaps would strongly convince Prevera to listen to you.
Interesting.
Would we like a plan B, just in case if that doesn't go well?
That would be entirely up to your abilities.
I mean, I would say we're interested.
Yeah. I think if we are looking for another plan, this is where the papers are printed. So that information that is in the tavern has already gotten past all of the stopgaps, save for one. So if we can get that printed, then that would probably be a big enough distraction to allow us to carry on along our way.
Guerrilla news.
She nods and says, "Yes, that's true. But that's quite a lot of number of ifs."
Well,
So then you're saying we ascend with you? Are you pretending to be a part of our chain?
Oh no, one of you would simply have to accept me, and then her form disappears, and her disembodied voice.
Oh, she
says,
was inside of us.
"Mm, mm."
Demons only want one thing. And so-
and it's
And it's
disgusting.
fucking disgusting.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, Tao is no stranger to this.
Mhm.
There are probably other demons that are already fist
Yeah,
fighting.
They're already
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
Already in there fighting for space. I already paid my rent.
Yeah.
Um,
I can't die because I owe my soul to so many.
yeah, exactly.
And they're all fighting over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with this cost.
You're just you're good. You just
It wouldn't be my first foray into it. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, I think it's general knowledge too, and this will be implied certainly through the conversation that whoever does get this demon does get like some powers. Like that's a thing that demons do.
Sure.
You will get some supernatural powers. So yeah,
Yeah.
all right.
Now
That's where
everyone
all of my
wants the
powers came
demon.
from.
So it sounds like it's just Tau right now. All right.
But multiple people can have.
No, just
Oh,
one.
okay. No, I won't fight for it.
Okay, cool.
I'm hesitant enough.
Yeah. So
I mean,
Tau,
we got to min max Tao's Arcanist build by
yeah. I love this. Okay. So, Tao, you willingly accept this demon into your form. And so the young woman's image dissipates into black smoke that enters into through your nostrils, through your ears, through your eye holes, all the orifices above the shoulders.
Just cleans out those
Yeah,
sinuses.
really
I had
cleans
to
out those
try.
sinuses. All right. So here's what you learn, Tao. You hear a whispering in your head.
Oh yeah.
This is an experience. This is a secret. You learn that Prevera doesn't have the power of foresight. Prevera has the power that this demon is going to grant you, and that is the power of light weaving, which is basically illusions.
I see.
So under
your iPhone is just AI generated.
correct.
You
it's
got it, you
it's
nailed
just
it.
hallucinating.
Hey,
So
let's just see what you want.
that's your secret that you put on your sheet. Is Prevera has light weaving or whatever you want to write there. It's a three link experience. Light weaving requires a source of illumination, so it doesn't work in shadow. Thus, there's that giant crystal in the sky. You do get an equipment,
Ooh.
which is light weaving. That's your equipment with the traits illusory and blinding. That's 2 links. You can't actually use the magic unless you have Imbraxite. The chains around you prevent you from using magic. Crushing Imbraxite temporarily prevents you or temporarily bypasses that prohibition. But you can still use those words in your contribution, right? Illusory, blinding. Because you willingly accepted the demon, though, you do get a curse. So the curse is basically, you can think of this as an asset. It takes up an asset slot. So if you don't have any asset slots left, you have to sack one. And this is the curse of deceit. So all experiences that you gain as the leader on this level are automatically secrets. You cannot share them unless you share them as part of the
Extra
contribution.
selfish.
Yeah. So the only way you can share anything with your allies is through a contribution. So you have to share it. Does that make sense?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
And I need to replace one of my assets.
If you have already used 5, then you have to replace one of your assets with the curse.
Yes, I may be stacked up on assets right now.
Yeah. You can also choose to give up an asset and give it to someone else if you are so what's the word? Generous. You can also throw it on the chain sheet.
I like that idea.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and throw something on the chain sheet.
So my special ability is only when I'm whenever, right?
Yeah, your special ability is whenever you
Inside
move
the
an
whole
experience from your breaker sheet to the chain sheet, you increase your opportunity die
Yeah,
by
hell
one.
yeah. We
So,
min
yeah.
maxed this choice.
You
so
min
good.
maxed it.
This was on purpose. It's actually
yeah, of
pre-scripted.
course.
We all knew what we were doing.
Yeah, actually, that's great. That helped you out great. If you move one over,
Yeah.
that will tick your opportunity die up by one.
I think I'll move over Fervent Witness, and I think that them seeing, a demon take someone over is that
That experience, yeah.
unexplainable miracle.
Yeah, you all witnessed some unexplainable miracle there. That's a
Yeah,
3-link
we did it.
experience. Nice.
We did it, gang.
That is up for grabs during trials.
Sweet.
All right. So that is what happens now that you have found the demon that has revealed to you and you alone that Provera is not a Farseer. She is actually a Lightweaver.
Okay. Which I now also am.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, just shooting the shit. If you were to ever like go to Provera and like utilize her skills, what would you want to see up on the surface? Since it's totally legit. I'm kidding.
All right. So for the sake of time here, I think we're gonna move on to challenging Provera.
Sounds great.
Sick.
All right. So I think
No,
yeah.
let's keep talking about this.
Yeah, we'll keep talking about this.
Let's keep talking about the pervy nature of this old man.
Yeah.
He's not a pervert.
All right. So you all head back to the paper mill that also doubles as the paper press there. What do you all say to get Provera's attention? Because she doesn't normally just meet with anyone.
Yo, Provera!
Howdy.
Do you got it or?
There's not just like a formal we challenge you for the right to...
You could, yeah, you can.
Okay.
If that's like you want to be as direct as that, I think she's been open to that.
Yeah, I
So-
mean, since she has not fought people on this and really just been like, hey, I know I'm a horrible overlord, but I'm a nice horrible overlord.
Okay.
I think we can just be direct here.
All right, yeah, sure.
I mean,
So-
it's not like we know any secrets that would make us think
no,
that
exactly.
that
Why would
there
she
is
think
anybody-
that? Why would she think that?
She's so
What is-
willing
what
to
a
help
silly
people.
thought.
Yeah.
So typically when you want to start an ascension rite in the book, it's everyone in the chain has to declare the words "by our bonds we arise." So we'll just assume you all said that for now.
No, let's do it all together because it's
all right,
always
everyone,
great. It's
do
always
it.
great to
One,
sync up
You have
audio.
to. You have to pre. Yeah.
3.
By our bonds we rise.
Yeah.
Is that,
And you
that was
can
the
you can
words?
hear the echo and the like desync that's happening in the chamber, and that summons Provera.
It's always good.
And
What was she doing when she got summoned?
what was she doing? Yeah, she was
Pressing
in the
some
middle.
paper.
Yeah, she was in the middle of doctoring
just
some more
pulp.
documents and things.
Just
That's all.
paper pulp all over her.
Yeah,
hands?
paper pulp all over. No, yeah, she meets you in the chamber halls of the paper press there. This is basically the vision of the older woman that the demon had shown you. This is Provera, basically. She strides out and she repeats the second half of the ritual phrase, and she says, "By your bonds, payment is deemed." And she gestures openly and says, "It has been a number of days, number of weeks, time. Who knows what time is like here down in the grave? That any chain has dared challenge me for a rite of ascension. Am I not a gracious warden?" She doesn't wait for a response there. Still, I am nothing if not generous here. I simply ask that you be generous in return. What is the information that you wish to give me?
Huddle up.
Chain huddle, please.
I thought the demon had that stuff.
No, the demon just wants to go with us. I mean, well, now I technically have the stuff.
You have this
So,
stuff. What do you
yeah,
want
You
to
got
do?
the sauce.
I mean,
What do you want to do?
but do we want to use that? That feels like Ace in the Hole type thing.
Yeah.
Here's the question, because things can only be revealed in a challenge.
Mhm.
Do we know that you have light weaving, and do we know that that Prevera has light weaving, or do only you know that?
I think because it's because it's on my sheet, only I know it, or
Correct. You can only reveal it as part of the trial contribution.
Yeah.
You can't just like willingly give it up.
I think I walked forward very like chest puff, like, don't worry, I have this.
Uh-huh.
And now I'm here and I'm just like, shit. Yeah, I think no, I think I got this. And I pull from the chain huddle. This is a fucking swing.
Go big or go home.
Yeah, go big or go home.
In fact, I would like to go home.
Yeah. We've heard tell that you have been looking for a demon that haunts your woods.
All right.
We have gone and we have found the demon. And big swing.
Yep.
And we believe that you are said demon.
Oh, I like that. Interesting. All right. This will initiate the trial. Prevera is her traits: patronizing, theatrical, and beguiling. I think all three of these still apply here.
Those are so strong in this instance.
Boy.
So I'll
I don't
roll
wanna
3
be
dice
beguiled.
and pick the highest. I rolled a 10, 10, and 9. So the highest is a 10 plus 10 is
20, baby.
20.
I
So
believe in
our
us.
trial
Yeah,
is
it's
a
only
20.
right, though.
Let's just roll a bunch of 10s like last time.
Yeah. And we're all gonna work together because we're actually best friends now.
Yeah.
So normally the leader is the one who starts the trial, but I think narratively it seems to make sense that Tao started the trial here.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'll let Tao make
I
the
think
first
when you let a
contribution.
demon come in your nose, that
Whoa, what?
that you heard it.
You heard it.
I had to think, do I want to change the way I said this? And I said no. I think you get to become the leader. I think that's a new chain
Yeah,
link
sure.
errata.
Yeah. I like that.
It's-
If you willingly
only-
accept
I
a
think
demon,
that's
you
a-
become the
that's a
leader.
shirt. I think
Yeah.
you
It
should
was
make that a shirt.
the demon only came in my upper orifices.
Yes,
So we're
I
good.
explicitly stated upper orifice.
Yeah.
So,
I understand. I respect that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Good to
So Quinn, what is your contribution here? So you accused Prevera of being the demon.
No,
Yes,
you're
I
the
sure
demon.
did.
So what kind of assets are you leaning on? What kind of skills are you using to make that
Yeah,
claim?
what kind of ass hat?
Yeah, it's me. I'm the asset. Goodness gracious.
You got so many now.
I do. I have so
Is
many.
the curse supposed to be on there as a thing also?
The curse should be on your asset sheet. Yeah, your breaker sheet.
So you got Prevera has light weaving, and the curse itself should have all gone on there, right?
Yeah, I'll write down your curse because
Okay,
it has. You
thanks.
can't actually use the curse as part of your
Mm.
assets. That's kind of the reason it's there.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
taking up a
takes up
slot.
that-
That is.
yeah, it
takes
yeah,
up a
gotcha.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just going to try and call her on her bullshit, and specify that she does not have this power that she speaks of.
All right. So what assets are you using?
I feel like the equipment of light weaving,
Okay.
the experience of the fact that I now know, and that I now have light weaving.
It's kind of like infiltration.
It is kind of like infiltration.
Yeah, I feel like
Um,
infiltrate or impersonate here
It could be in person.
Yeah.
could be really good.
I think either work. Yeah. So that gets
Yeah.
you 3 dice.
Because it is like an illusion. So what if I essentially just steal her face? Pretend to
You
be her?
you would if you had access to any magic, which requires Ambraxite.
Yeah.
So had someone
You
not
know,
failed that first
yeah,
trial, maybe you
that's a-
could do
that's a very
something
good
cool.
point.
But
Yeah.
but you can
Make us
still call upon those assets. It's just the
Yeah.
contribution is not going to be magical in it.
Yeah.
I'll just talk a big game for now.
Okay, yeah,
If
that's certainly a
I'm-
big game. So 3
if I'm
dice, pick
called on
one.
it, then I'll but then I'll do something later. Okay. So that is a 1, a 2, and a 9.
So what do you want?
So we are all working as a team, right?
Obvious.
Yeah, this matters.
Obviously, of course, of
Yeah.
course. So it would probably make the most sense for me to not drop the 9 to start off with.
Correct.
So so I think I'm gonna go with the 2.
All right. Wise decision. Because you did not pick the
Yeah.
highest of your dice pool, you tick up your opportunity die by 1.
Hell yeah.
You just accused Prevera of being the demon. She does like a blank stare double take kind of thing, like not like the opposite of a
Wooga
double
wooga
take,
what?
just like a
Yeah.
like unfazed
Yeah.
blink blink. Exactly. And then she just bursts out laughing. And she says, that I admit is not something I would have ever dreamed of someone accusing me of. And she kind of steps back and says, but I'll give you a moment to expound on this explanation before I have my guards come in and eviscerate the 3 of you. All right. Tao, Quinn, who goes next?
I I think that I will pass this over to oh goodness. Andrew. Avery. How do you good luck.
But I don't know the truth.
Yeah,
I don't even know the full
I don't know if
angle.
you've given
How do I
anything
compare
up.
the
You
two?
just
just
accused
heard,
her.
but now you've got to choose: do you back them up or not?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
This is the truth. You're
I mean,
chained to me.
well, hold on. We do know that they said they were close in the
Yes.
public
Yes.
knowledge. They said they
changed
were
faces.
close. They changed their form to look like what's her face. Like we
Mhm.
know there's a connection here,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
even without Quinn revealing anything or Tao revealing anything to
Right.
us.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
got
Okay.
this.
Remember, you have things on your chain sheet that you can use as well.
Yeah.
Remember,
Mm,
so
The
it's not just your
experience
stuff.
itself.
Yep. So
right. So
you
yeah, I'll
know-
pull on that.
Mhm. Yep, the experience yourself, right? You
Yeah.
saw this demon coming into.
Yep. So I'll do
Tao.
that,
Mhm.
and then I will also pull on.
You also have demons in the oh, that's another experience.
I'll say like I guess no for my skills. And just
Mhm.
like
You know a
general
lot right
knowledge.
now.
I know
Yeah.
shit.
I know kung fu.
Oh, yeah, sick. So I think that plays in here. So that puts me at 3. So if I have the one from the sheet, the chain sheet,
Mm-hmm.
that bumps it to 2, and then the second die I get from no.
So you don't start with 1.
Oh, sorry, got it.
Here, yeah, that's just faction trials.
Okay.
So it's 2 right now because you're using a skill, no,
Mhm.
and then you're using the experience, fervent witness on the chain sheet.
Okay.
So that's 2.
Yeah. If you
All
pop
right.
your equipment, that would be 3, but
Yeah. I don't really know how Bell Staff is gonna play in here. Yeah, no, I think that's it.
All right.
All
Roll your 2 dice.
I got a oh god, I have a 10 and a 9.
Cool.
Remember, you have your opportunity die that you can replace any of those dice
Ooh.
with your opportunity die if you like.
Yeah, I'll throw. How many times can you burn through opportunity die? As many as you have.
The moment, no, you replace that die with the opportunity die value. So once you do that, it resets back down to 1.
Yeah. So you would be
Um,
doing 2.
So you'd
Right.
be replacing
Okay, I got
one
a
of the 9s or 10s with the
3.
2.
Oh, it's the value is 2.
Correct.
It's
Yeah.
not 1 dice.
Mhm.
Got
Yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm. So you could accept a 9 or 10, or you could use the 2 for
Yeah,
your
I'll use
opportunity
the 2.
die.
I'll use
But
the 2 meat.
that's a meat, so that works. So
Yep.
your opportunity goes back down.
Yep.
But you did seize the opportunity there, so good work. So now we're at 4. And what is
there
it that
any
you're?
trigger on?
Do you trigger anything when you seize?
No.
No, that's only if they were leader.
Okay.
No. Yeah. Basically, I'm just saying like I know
A demon, when I see it, I know the dead. When it speaks, I know exactly what's going on, and I don't think that you're running exactly the tightest ship around here.
Hmm.
I'm not hearing all of the information that I need to hear about what's going on. These papers aren't even entirely legit. Your heavy hand on that edit is a little bit obnoxious, honestly.
And she says,
Only a demon would.
whatever is it that you're talking about? I only I only let people see what it is that they wish to see. All right, who do you want to go next, Andrew?
Get in there, Tony.
So I think Gary will step forward. Oh, just out of curiosity, I'm assuming that even though Andrew did not take their highest die, the fact that they use their opportunity die means they do not get
Correct.
one back. Otherwise,
That
it would
is
be,
that is a wise.
otherwise
yeah.
you would always bump to 2, right? Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
correct.
Um, Yuri steps in and says, I, my apologies. What's her name again? I keep trying.
Prevera. It's
Prevera.
okay. You can just call her Warden. That's
Warden,
fine.
my friends. I mean, I knew we were challenging. We didn't fully discuss this. I'm sorry if you've been offended by this. I'm going to use amend.
Okay.
To take on the as if I was trying to like be apologetic.
Mhm.
Good cop,
Let's
bad
see. What did we use something on the equipment sheet, the chain sheet last time?
Yes. Andrew used fervent witness. So
Okay.
that goes down.
Yeah.
It's down to 2.
I'm going to use demon in the Narwood.
Okay.
And basically we can use these in place of our own personal equipment, correct?
Correct,
Like they
yeah.
are. Out of curiosity, how does stuff go off of the chain sheet? Or
You
does
just
it not?
take it off.
Just take it
whenever
off
you
whenever we
want.
want
You
to.
just can no longer use it then.
Cool.
for
All right.
contribution.
We heard that there was a demon in the Narwood. We went out. I think, it's so easy to become confused in these times. As secrets abound, it's hard to sometimes know like what is true and what is not. I want to use Knives of Night, also my Knife of Night,
Uh-huh.
as I kind of get close to her.
Steps out.
Because it needs whatever the ability she's using needs night. I'm trying to figure out if this is magical or not. The thing I'm proposing.
Yeah, well, you can pitch it and we'll see.
Because like the Knife of Night is hidden, swift, and markless. Like, is there a visualization of the Knife of Night? Is it just a knife?
That's up to you.
Okay, the
Like,
fact that
how
it's
do you want it to
markless
be?
makes it feel like it is not a like that. It is not like a standard blade, right? Because a standard blade typically leaves a mark of
It's a
some,
2D,
of some
it's a
sort.
2D blade,
Sure.
like a
Yeah.
perfect edge.
Um,
It has no width.
I kind of like so I think my pitch is that I want to have her show me, like I'm going to ask her to show me something to prove to them that this is a normal thing, like this is an ability that she has, like a thing that I would want to see. And basically like I'm going to try to be amends and basically be like, let's prove to them that this power
I
of
know
yours
you're
is real.
legit.
Okay.
I want to ask her
Alright.
to show me a thing.
All right. Yeah, no, I like this. What are you to ask her to show you?
That's a great question.
Show me what you got.
I think let's see if she'll show me the location. Like show me the air. Like show me the lost air. Like she can, like that's the thing I desire the most on the surface, the thing I would want to see.
Yeah.
That's what my faction wants. Show them the location of the lot just to prove to them that this is real. If she does that, I want to use my knife to try to cut through the image to essentially use the
sure.
darkness to cut into the light that she is projecting.
And your objective being you're trying to attack her, or
No, I want to cut into the
Or
image to
reveal
prove that it
the
is not
illusion.
actually a thing. Like that it is not real. Like I want to try to
Okay.
disrupt it using my Knife of Night.
I will, because what she's showing you is an image, so everyone knows it's an image. The assumption is that the image is of something real,
Right.
right?
And I want to
So-
try to disrupt it by throwing the Knife of Night through it.
Okay.
That's my pitch.
I think that's fair.
Okay.
All right, make your roll then.
Let me mark off stuff so I don't forget. I'm gonna mark Night. Mark off.
Yeah.
Mark off. Mark
Like
less.
Chekhov's gun.
Mark list.
It's
Yes,
like,
yes.
why is this so hard in my head? And I just figured that out. All right. And I'm going to roll 3 d10s.
Okay.
Easy.
Excellent. All right. So I rolled a 4-5-4, which is an excellent combination. The cool thing
Okay.
is I can bump those 4s up by 1 because of Quinn's leader ability, I believe. If I bump them up by 1, are they going to count as a 5 or do they still count as a 4?
If you bump a 4 up by 1, is that what I'm hearing?
I rolled 2 4s and a 5.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So Quinn's ability lets us bump a number up by 1. So
Oh,
would the
yep,
next
yep.
person have to roll a 4 or higher or a 5 or higher?
5.
Okay. So if
'Cause
we
you
bump
bumped
it
it up
up,
to
that
5.
that changes the number of record also. Too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. So it doesn't
Would that-
matter. It's a 5.
Would
Yes.
that activate twice or just once?
It activates once. The ability activates when you roll 2 dice of the same number.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So your
Yeah. I would be
score is
bumping the
5.
4s to a 5, or I can
Okay.
just take the
Yeah.
5. It doesn't matter either way in this situation. I was
Okay.
just curious.
Okay. So 2 plus or is 4 plus 5 is 9.
I guess the other question is, do we have to use the ability?
No. You don't have to. You don't have to do anything.
Because if the question is like just how much lower do we want to keep it as we ramp? 5 is fine. It's not
Yeah,
hard.
I
to ramp
think
up.
5
You're at
is-
9. Yeah, you can be
Yeah.
5.
5 is easy.
5
There's
is 50% chance.
there's no reason to agonize over this. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, she seems a little offended that you are asking something of her, but
I'm on her side.
she's theatrical if nothing else. So she will acquiesce and show you an image of Varen, residing somewhere in the Rhymecrest Mountains. There,
I knew it.
I think at that point that is where you throw your knives, right, or knife, breaking up the image. It does break it up, and it does do that like little wavy thing of light that gets disrupted. That really takes Prevera off guard, and she takes that as like an actual affront, like a violent act towards her. So you hear action of she calls out for guards to come in. And at that, you hear or you see these giant paper like golem constructs coming out.
Origami. Up.
Origami knights, basically, that come and circle around you. And she says, it's like, you've wasted enough of my time here. If you have nothing of worth to give to me, then you are of no worth to me. And she switches the image of Varen into a sea of sable squids. They have returned.
Chekhov's gun.
Chekhov's gun. here.
Chekhov's squid.
And they start spinning around you as well, masking the movements of the guards that are coming at you now. This is going to make the trial now very challenging because I have added disable squids returning. That means that you remove, when you roll your dice, you remove the highest number die from your dice pool before you get to pick.
Easy. Still easy.
Easy. All right, but it's now turned violent. So who's going next,
Good.
Tony?
I'm going to
As
pass
we
it
close this
back
out.
to Tal because that's the extent of free knowledge I had.
All right, Tao, it's back to you. This trial is not the same state as when you started it. So what is it that you'd like to do?
No, I got this. So I know that in order for me to use this magic, I need one of these crystals.
You need Ambraxite. Yep.
So I could probably assume that she has the same requirement to use this ability as well.
That's correct. Yep. That's why she's been
so
tithing all of it from you.
I would like to use the skill of either infiltrate or surveil.
Okay.
And I would like to use my silk shield cloak as camouflage,
Okay.
and essentially do my best in the hectic nature of all of this to try and get close enough to her to try and
Look at distraction.
to try and
grab some
take-
Ambraxite. All right.
Yes.
I will allow it.
I mean, I also will say, Quinn, you may want to see, was that 3 things or just 2 things?
That was 2. So
You may want to try to figure out a third since you're going to lose your top
Yes. I that was an equipment and a skill.
Okay.
So
If you got an experience,
wise,
remember you got your chain
um,
The
sheet
chain
too.
sheet, yeah.
yep. And I think I'm gonna burn the fervent witness.
All right.
Um, so not that.
Yeah, that's you calling upon the knowledge of this is magic. Magic needs Imbraxite.
Yep.
Ergo, Prevera probably has some Imbraxite on her.
Cool. Okay.
All right.
So I
Roll 3, drop the highest before you pick,
Alrighty.
and hope you get a 5 or higher.
Okay. So my highest is a 9.
So you drop that.
My next highest is an 8, and then I have a 7.
All right. So which one do you want to pick? 7 or 8?
Let's see. Would 8 put us over? I don't believe so, right? No.
No,
Nope.
you're at 9 right now.
But it'll put us
Yeah.
real close.
Yeah. Should I go with the 7 instead, just for the highest?
Yeah, I
likelihood
think
of
I think
still
leaving the
succeeding?
space is probably better.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna go with the 7.
All right. And
And
because you didn't pick the highest, your opportunity guys goes up.
Yep.
And I interrupted you. Were you gonna say something else?
No.
Okay.
I think that's primarily it.
Okay. But you were successful. So
yeah.
you take your silk shield cloak, you dodge and weave through what you know are light weaving images, right? These are
Yeah.
illusions. And you're able to get behind Prevera. And you do see behind her, she has a hand behind her back, and she's reaching into a sack of what you presume to be is Embraxite. So you are successful in pulling out, you can pickpocket that bag. You have 1 Embraxite on you.
Yeah.
So that Embraxite is a piece of equipment. You have 1 link to it.
Gotcha.
It has the trait, a 1 link trait of inciting, if you ever want to use it that way. But you can
So I have
also
to get rid of one of my equipment, or I could put that on the chain sheet just the same.
you could. Yeah, you could put it on the chain sheet, but then anyone can use it.
It's true. Does my whatchamacallit make it so I can't?
No,
only experiences.
Only
can't go on.
experiences. You can only
Okay. I think I'll put the Embraxite on the
chain sheet.
chain sheet.
Okay. Sounds good.
Could you type that out for me?
I will. Don't you worry. All right, very well. Who's going next? Your choice, Quinn.
Let's see. I mean, Avro, you have a. I'll toss this. I'll toss it up to you.
All right, Andrew. I think you
you're
may
muted.
are muted or something. We lost your.
Yep, sorry.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there was stomping about the house. Yeah, no, I'm trying to figure out like my strat in the combat side of things.
Well,
So
no worry.
so I can't really use my special ability. That's about assisting somebody else not in my chain. So we're not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Quinn's leader ability is fight seer.
It helps if you roll doubles.
So that's triggered on a roll.
So 2 6s are just as good as a 7.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll just swing my bell staff and call on the zealotry within my experience of the religion and beliefs that I follow. Just saying, I will, like just kind of calling out for, truth to be made known. And I'm gonna say maybe awaken skill.
Yeah.
There. So that
Yeah.
gives me 3.
Yeah, that gives you 3. What are you awakening? The
Just
fight
like
instinct
yeah,
inside you?
Yeah, I'm going ultra instinct.
Yeah, there you go. I remember these days.
Oh boy, I got a 10, a 7, and a 1.
So you dropped a 10
Yep.
because of the squids. So it's a 7 or a 1, and you
Yeah.
had to meet a 7.
Well,
Hell yeah.
I think I'm gonna use that 7.
All right, very nice. So that gets you up to past 20. All right. So you can stop there and you all succeeded, or someone can push their luck and attempt to be the leader to pull more rewards. Depending on how you want to narratively end this, all wardens have access to the life above. So there is this mechanic called smuggling an asset, and this is the only way you can send the things that you've learned here up to your factions. That's a reward. So if you defeat the warden like Prevera and you choose not to kill her, you can compel her to smuggle one of your assets to your faction above, but only the leader gets to do that.
Let me ask an important question mechanically.
Yes.
One, is it the leader or the person who picks first can choose that?
I think I see where you're going with this. It's the person who picks first.
Great, then it doesn't matter. That's fine. Yeah, sure. Andrew can have it.
Okay. Okay. Quinn.
I mean, I have the things to spend.
I mean, you got all this work to get this piece of Ambraxite, and
But
all
also,
you need to do.
let's go ahead and say, if Quinn fails, then we fail, right?
Yeah.
You succeed because
We
you passed the
succeed.
trial.
Okay.
But you all suffer a consequence.
Which is fine.
You
we
all
have plenty
suffer
of
a
space to take
consequence.
those.
Yes.
Oh.
You just have to meet or beat a 7, Quinn.
Yeah, that's easy.
That's easy.
So
You have Ambraxite
subtracting-
now, so
Subtracting one die. Yeah,
Alright.
easy.
when you
I-
use Ambraxite, you actually have to sever it because it's a consumable.
Yeah.
But because it's magic, you get to add 1 to your contribution score.
Oh shit.
And it's not subject to the limit of 10. So if you roll a 10 and you can add 1, so you can get 11 with magic.
Hell yeah.
That's the
This
thing
thing
with
goes
using
to
magic.
11.
Yeah, it goes to 11 with magic.
Yeah. I mean, it feels very very on brand for Tal to.
Dude,
I mean, also
yes.
also for me.
go for it.
Also,
Go for
I mean,
it.
also you got a demon inside you. You can't help it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh no, it
Um,
was the demon.
Tal would never have done that.
So I think I'm going to sever the Ambraxite.
Okay.
I am going to call on my skills of impersonation.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to call on my experience of light weaving.
Okay.
And I am going to, and like if I understand this magic correct, it is illusion.
It is just illusion. Yeah.
Okay. I would like to essentially summon an illusion of Prevera to basically tell her guardians to like take her instead, because she truly is
The demon.
the demon.
Okay. Go for it.
Nothing bad can happen.
Nothing bad's gonna happen here.
In my heart of hearts, I cannot die. Okay, so what did I need? I had a.
You
it was
needed
a
a meter
7.
beat a 7.
Okay, so
You
rough
lose the
roll.
top. You lose the highest number
Or the
because of the
I
squids.
lose the highest, which is a 5, which would have been nice. So my lowest doesn't matter. The one that does matter is a 3.
Okay.
My opportunity die is a 4.
Okay.
So I can bump that up to a 4 instead.
Mm-hmm.
And bump it to a 5 because of the Ambraxite.
Yep.
Bump it to a 5 because of the Ambraxite. And then can I burn?
2?
I could I could stress 2 things
Mm-hmm.
to bump it to a 7.
Yes.
I will do that.
Okay.
I think I don't understand how this light weaving works, and I just
You just shoot all of it out of
Hey,
it.
Quinn, what were the total amount? What were the totals that you rolled? Also, just out of curiosity.
a 5, a 3, and a 2. So the 5 is gone.
Okay, that's fine. I was just curious.
Yeah.
Very low.
Very low.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. No.
yeah,
Describe
because the
what.
Ambraxite
Yeah.
doesn't have another one, so I
No.
can't burn that.
No.
And my skills don't have any ticks, so it has to just be those 2 points.
Yep.
Mhm.
So that's the reason why it has to go up to the 4, then the 5 because of the Ambraxite. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the only way to do it.
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I completely stress my light weaving
Yeah, that
One and done.
completely shocks Prevera. She's never encountered someone else with her abilities. I think she's doing the mental math as to what that actually means as the guards start turning on her. Does anyone else want to do anything?
I'm fine. I don't know
I'm
if
good.
I don't
Yeah.
know if
I'm
Arbor
good.
has wants
Okay.
wants that
Tony,
back.
I know what you're going to do.
You know what I'm gonna do.
I'm going to allow it. I think I've never encountered this before. But
You've
we're gonna-
never encountered this
I
before?
have
It
not,
seems
because
like the most natural thing to do.
it does. You think, but it's because normally I have multiple instances of smuggling an asset in our level.
Yeah.
But we're gonna let this. This is gonna happen.
And you also don't play with just masterful gameplay.
No, you are a masterful game player.
In case y'all are wondering, once per
Whoa,
level.
whoa, whoa, don't spoil it.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah. All right. So
I thought it was happening right now.
It's happening right now. The guards turn and apprehend the quote unquote fake Prevera, the demon. And I assume that the illusionary Prevera is the one that allows you to ascend, basically. Or it's like intimidating the real Prevera to allow you to ascend.
Just
Sure.
gives us a thumbs up.
Yeah. Yeah.
As we spread
So
along.
Tao, you are allowed. You could. The reward you get is you could smuggle an asset. Is that something you
But-
wish to do? That is the reward.
Yeah, I mean, and any of these are assets as well.
Hmm.
Is that the only reward, or are there multiple rewards?
The other reward is that you get to pass
Okay,
to the top.
Those are the two
That's the
things.
default thing. Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
There are other rewards you could get depending on how you played out this narratively, but you're not getting any of them.
What were the what were those options? Just out of curiosity.
If you there are ways to depending on how you approached it and you tried to turn her or at least tell her like, hey, you know, we have the demon, there are other things that you could have learned on this level. She
Cool.
may have let you go and given you some other aspects.
she would have just been nice to us if we had.
She would have been
honest.
nicer. She would have been a little
Sure
nicer
did.
to you. And you could have got away with some assets as well.
Cool. Interesting.
We are blackmailing her, and we did throw a knife, and then I swung my
There were
staff
some
at her.
pretty violent
Not
actions
at
towards
her.
in her
Anyways.
vicinity, though. In her vicinity.
Anyways,
Yeah. So, Tao, I
Yeah.
think if you're gonna attempt to tell Prevera to smuggle something for her.
Yeah, the experience of light weaving, can that be?
Yeah.
Could that be smuggled?
It is. That's pretty important intel.
Yeah.
But before that happens,
yeah, Quinn, I got bad news for you. Finders
Yeah, no,
keepers.
I
The
know.
one making the call isn't the one doing the work. Once per level, you may
Yeah.
reset your opportunity die to 1 to take 1 reward before the leader distributes the rewards.
I love that so much for the simple fact that I think that is my passenger. Like my light weaving is my demon that I have with me, kind of. Like, I mean, if you're okay with that. But
yeah. Well, it's now up to Yeri to decide what's being smuggled at this point, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I mean, if we're all narratively okay with it, I love that. I think I just redirect it to the Baroness. Like,
Okay. Yeah. So basically, how this works is you're like compelling her magically. You've all participated in this rite that is governed by the grave. Because you've won. Now a Prevera is compelled to smuggle an asset. You're like basically it's like Tao's like, all right, I want you to smuggle this light weaving demon up or whatever, and you're like, and I'd like you to send it to. And right before you say the destination, Yeri somehow prevents
I
you from
reach in
completing-
and just turn the
Yeah.
dial.
Yeah, and you're like, nope, it's going to the Varanists.
Oh, man,
But it's very
that's
clear
so
that everyone
useful.
gets to see that.
Yeah.
So yes, Prevera nods in defeat, and you see the spellbound runes on your chains glow purple, which permits you to ascend to the next level without harm being done upon you. And there is how we end.
So,
today's
like we said
session.
last time, but this time we mean it. Next level, we're working together.
All right, there you go. And
Thank you so much.
apologies, we went slightly over, but
That's
I
fine.
hope,
This is great.
yeah.
I loved it. We're going to do a quick reaction roll, though. Reaction roll is a live stream inside of a live stream. It's our chance to sit down with the creator of a game we just played and talk about what it was like to play that game. Today, we are talking about ChainXLink, a game that came out for Glyph Tide Games and Plus One EXP last year as part of Zine.Club. We're sitting down with the creator, Ethan Yin, as along with the visual designer and layout artist, Andrew Bowman. Quinn and I to talk about what it was like to play that game. Ethan, for folks who are just joining us or just catch this part of the show, tell us a little bit more about ChainXLink.
Yeah, sure. So if you're just joining us, ChainXLink is a semi-cooperative dungeon-defying game. So you as players are all playing as breakers. These are leaders of disparate rebel factions against a tyrannical government called the Crown. You've all also been captured and sent into a mega dungeon. So you all are forced to work together to try to escape. But at the same time, you're trying to acquire assets and intel to feed your factions in the life above so that they can actually succeed through their goals. So it's a cooperative aspect in the dungeon delving and a more competitive aspect through the faction game.
Yeah, awesome. I had a blast playing it, but let's talk to our other players. Quinn, let's go to you first. Tell us a little about who you are, what you do, and what it was like to play ChainXLink.
Hi, I'm Quinn Blackwell. I'm a writer and designer, and I work with Plus One as well as the production pal. And I just really enjoy the chance to be a little stinker. Um, any game that lets me be just a little guy who does shitty things to friends and enemies alike. I'm always gonna be down with.
Awesome. You got any questions for Ethan?
Oh man, I let me think for a second. I've been designing something that is like also semi cooperative. Um, what was if you remember like the genesis of it? What was the thing that truly like enticed you to make something that had like a competitive edge to it in a place that is very consistently like cooperative and like story building like as a group as
Yeah,
friends.
totally. I think two things. There's the mechanical side of things, and then there's the narrative side of things. We'll start with the narrative side of things. When I play games, I really like to play games that are like play to lose. The games where like we all know kind of more or less where the story's going, like Trophy, everyone is going to get lost in the forest kind of thing. And we're playing to find out how that descent into destruction happens, right? Self-destruction happens. I think that's a very fun way of playing where it's like not just embodying the character, but like one step removed from that, where like you're playing a character in a narrative form of way to like tell like a pretty cool like character arc. Games that are like semi cooperative or competitive for board games have a different definition than like narrative games, right? With board games, it's like a clear you win if something happens, you lose if something happens. For narrative games, it's more about like what is the path that got them there, right? That is the fun part to explore. And so with a semi cooperative narrative game, it's like play to win to lose, if that makes sense, where it's that added meta layer of now I'm not just playing to lose, I'm playing a character who wants to win in such a way that we're all going to lose to some degree. It's just such a fun premise exercise for me. And that's kind of the narrative side of things. It's like, how do we touch into that? And then the mechanical side of things was this trial mechanic, these chain rolls that you were all doing. I started the design of this game with that in mind, right? Like just the concept of how do we build upon each other and like chain moves together, like chaining attacks in Final Fantasy or something like that. And it really did start kind of like from that perspective. But when I added on that extra bit of like, all right, but whoever's last gets the most, that just added a whole other element where it's like I brought in the narrative play to win to lose into the very core resolution system of the game. And so I don't know if I'm answering your question fully, Quinn, but it's those two things that kind of melded together that got me thinking about how do you build a semi-cooperative TTRPG? Yeah.
I actually want to hop in right on that because it goes to my question too, and I'll talk about what I thought and think of another question. But like, did it start as a prisoner's dilemma concept, or did it
Uh,
evolve into that?
I think it evolved into it, but fairly quickly. I
Okay.
think the moment when it was like, all right, we're building on each other, but also whoever gets the top gets the best stuff is already the prisoner's dilemma in of
Yeah,
itself.
it is.
Um, and so like from there, I was just like, all right, well, we're chaining attacks, we're chaining moves, and then what's the most literal, uninspired interpretation of that? And this is how we get chain link.
Yeah.
Yeah, so um, it came pretty quickly coming out of the core resolution
Cool.
system there.
Awesome.
I think one of the things that I'm Andrew. I got to do design on this, and one of the things that I really loved when I was first reading through it was the emphasis on faction play and really like incorporating these larger motives behind the characters and just baking that in right away as disparate things. Because so many times when I've participated in TTRPGs that have factions, it's usually like, oh well, we all have to be aligned with this faction on some level, or it's like, oh maybe the rogue is a little bit with the thieves guild and maybe nobody else, but it's not this interpersonal conflict that comes out of like, oh, you're aligned with this faction, I'm aligned with that faction, they are not ever going to get along. And I think that I loved the going through that newspaper moment and just kind of like baking in these larger world moments into the very like kind of flashback moment of where we were at the table there. I just thought that it was a really fun macro to zoomed back in kind of moment to juxtapose the two. I'd say like when it came to the prisoner like concept and then building out the world, when did you start like and decide like, oh, this needs to be like a different play mode? What and then like what about the two distinct modes do you think really I guess what are the things that you find most distinct and valuable of having those two modes of play?
Yeah, I think it builds upon your comment there, Andrew, of like how helpful it is to not just understand the immediate consequences of your actions, but the greater implications thereof. And I think it just gives you a sense of like, oh, what I'm doing down here can change what's going up there, which is a pretty powerful like thematic point of the game too, right? Of the things that are happening within your microcosm can influence the greater movement of society of the world. And so I did want some way to show the play of the factions, and to also remind the players and the breakers that like you're no matter how close you feel you're getting down here, there is that disconnect because you are down here versus up there. And like it's like, well, they're still battling up here and you're like forced to work together down here. How do like if we do become buddy here, how do we get that up there? Like what do we need to send from down here up there? And so there are the original draft of the game did allow for the chance to bond down in the grave, and then you could smuggle the asset of bonding up to
cool.
the life above and be like, hey, the leaders down here are working together.
Yeah.
You two up here should be working together. That being said, I think like having these two factions that are really against each other really helps play up the competitive moment of it. Like Quinn mentioned, like it's great to feel like you are just like a asshole kind of person. And one of the greatest pieces of feedback I got playtesting this game was I want more permission to be an asshole, right? Like if you want me to be this criminal that is forced to work with other people, like give me more of those tools that I can use to backstab each other. And I think the immediate faction play helps with that.
You kind of had like that moment of like, well, I can't blame you,
right?
You know, like and like
yeah, it's like I get it, but also because you did that gives me a reason to do this.
Yeah, and it feels like it's all fair, you know, like in being a criminal, right? Like, and like being from disparate factions. It's like, yeah, you know what? That hurts. That really screws me over. But I'm probably gonna get you back anyway because we're still stuck down here together.
Exactly. And just because you succeeded, you won the battle. But are you gonna win the war? That's yet to remain to be seen. And making sure that the same core resolution system in the grave was for the faction, kind of spoke to the strength of that core resolution system.
Yeah.
It was like there are a lot of different ways you can apply this to any kind of game.
I mean, we really didn't have combat with the core resolution mechanic until the very last like few rolls. You know,
Yeah.
it was really cool to see how much that core, which by the way, if you don't know, there's a game jam going on using this core resolution mechanic. But like just truly seeing that in play and knowing, wow, this is deeply flexible. This can be a social encounter. This can be a negotiation. There's all that push and pull that really just kind of let it be what it needed to be for the moment. And like it's interesting as to when you would arbitrate deciding to activate, you know, like we're doing a trial or not. But like it's also flexible. Like, yeah, we could just talk. We could also make this a trial and have deeper consequences and rewards on it.
Yeah. I try to showcase the versatility of the trials in that, like, the first one was more like environmental. You know, it's like it could be like an exploration thing, right? Versus like more of a social thing, where you're using the trial to like, what are the arguments you're presenting? How strong are those arguments? And how are you, what are those based on? Like based on what play? And then you could do more of like a combat violence based kind of trial resolution. You know, people are always like mentioning this great white whale of like, how do we like make a social or negotiation encounter just as crunchy as a combat encounter, right? I think I wouldn't go so far as to inflate my ego and say I've done it here, but I'd say that like the combat and the social negotiation are of similar magnitudes of complexity here, right?
Yeah.
It's not like one is way more crunchy than the other. I've kind of leveled them out here.
Well, and we're all chained together, like, and if one of these dinguses dies like that directly, is a
gonna
like
drag him
real, is a real like, hey, how do we feel about combat here? Because you know, no, yeah, I loved it. I like I said, it's going through the manuscript and getting to play a game like this. I think are wildly different elements. Like there's so much rich world building in here that still leaves plenty of space for like, hey, let's talk through the realities of it at the table. You're giving people a world that's got like a lot of rich elements going for it, but it is very open. Like each of the abilities have like little prompting questions that you can use to like further build out your character's understanding of who they are, passing those around, all those different types of things. The interplay between equipment and experiences I think is really strong. Yeah, I had an absolute blast, and I was really glad to do it. It's again one of those things that I'm just like, well, shit. Now I want to play another level.
Yeah. If anything, I hope you left this play with like there are a lot of things you can imagine happening in this system.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Right?
Like, and I didn't
the
doubt that
campaign
going
play
in, but
would
yeah,
really, like bloom. I think it's a cool spot where like I was impressed by how much we could get the taste of it all and the implication of what it could be in a one shot, as well as again like fully understanding like, oh wow, this gets deep, like this gets really complicated as it grows.
Yeah, because if I was going to sit down at a table, I mean obviously the players would be making choices after the first level on what they want to do, how they like, do you just want to rush at the warden and try to solve this? Cool, you can do that, but like you're probably not at a good position when you first show up.
You don't have the assets
to know
like,
how to do
what
that.
Are you going to pull?
Even as you're going from level to level, and even as you have maybe more assets, like you still need the informational part, and it is going to be better to get the informational part. Otherwise, you're going to show up, and narratively, you're just going to be like, well, you may have a lot of assets, but you have no idea how to apply them, which is the other thing that I think is really compelling. Like, Andrew, you even mentioned, let me think for a second about the strategy for how I want to apply the. It's not that you couldn't just be like, oh, I want to do X and Y, but there's enough narrative structure around the crunchiness of this that you do want to know. Otherwise, it's like this doesn't make sense. I'm just smashing buttons, right?
Right.
And that's not the experience of playing.
And you could certainly play it that way, but you would very quickly find the dissonance between the smashing of the button and what's going on in the narrative.
And your knife of night would be you'd have all those links severed pretty quickly. No, like I said, it was super compelling. It is again. I am shocked that stealing the ability to move things up had not happened in playtesting until that point.
I think it's partly just it's partly, I think, play fatigue when people get at the end and they just forget the things they have on their sheet.
Yeah.
Is really what probably ends up.
I mean, I also at no point took the highest die because I was being a collaborative player for the most part, except for, oh no, I only rolled this one die and then I took the highest die because it would have put me in the thing.
Mhm.
So I was at only one opportunity die until like that combat.
That's
and then I was
true.
at
So you
2.
didn't have a lot to lose.
I was at 2, so I could not have done it before that point.
That was a surprise for me as I was playtesting, was when I put in the opportunity mechanic. I built it in there as a way to ensure that, like, if you were the person that had to start every trial and were forced to pick the lower number, your opportunity would keep ticking up.
Yeah.
And there would be a point when, like, there'd be a no risk, like, I picked the 10. I
Right.
know I'm going to do this. But more often than not, it's people rolling too high and they're like, I gotta do I gotta replace it with a smaller number.
It's a great
And
mitigation.
I'm like, oh, that's
mechanic,
pretty
yeah.
funny. Yeah.
I think like that. Then, like I said, that for me, that opened up a whole lot more. Oh shit, like that's really interesting. I wonder about other edge cases. So like things I was thinking about after that were like, so like if somebody unlocks all their factions goals, what happens? Like just because like is that like a hey you've and I don't know how often that happens, but like
So rules state that the game ends when either the breakers get out or a faction succeeds in all 3 of their goals.
Okay.
If they succeed, you could still play out the rest of there is a narrative there of you getting out as breakers while your faction has succeeded.
Yeah, but you're essentially taking out half of the fun of the play of the game, or letting other factions through their stuff. Like some of these things are not inherently at odds with each other. Like there's no reason that like because I think like I was looking through each of them, and like I think Quinn's faction is trying to end the world, so like that may be at odds with a lot of people,
as we do.
I don't think that's explicitly stated anywhere in the text there, Tony. So I don't know where you're.
Yeah, but like attacking the palace and convincing community elders to sabotage crown weaponry like aren't actually at odds with each other. They could be
correct.
They could be like so. There's no reason.
There is interplay there. There is the unspoken. Well, can't we just work together?
Right.
And then the question is, sure, but what does that look like in the game?
Yeah.
Right.
And having played diplomacy enough, well, not enough because I love the game, but enough. It is shocking to people if somebody just plays the game straight the entire time, because you can choose to just be an honest person in that game. And it's funny because it doesn't actually necessarily put you in the back seat to be non-committal. You can also play an honest person who's manipulating other people horribly in that game, where you're just like, I'm always telling you the truth, but I've also convinced you your best friend is your worst enemy. And so there's so much good here, and it is I don't really hesitate to say that it is the best implementation of Prisoner's Dilemma I have ever seen in a game. Prisoner's Dilemma is often included as a very simple, well, if you cooperate, it will just be better for everybody, right? Now, like, and for most people, you typically don't want to sit down at a table where one person is just going to play selfishly the entire time. Like that comes out in group dynamics to the point where you just go find other tables or ask that person not to come back to yours. It takes games like this that invite everyone to play in that space to make it free for everyone to do that, which lets you get into those more robust, like deeper levels of that dialogue. And the levels you're doing it on here are really, really impressive. So like it was super fun to actually, like I said, get it to the table and get a chance to play all that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Any questions you have for us?
I just like what's your favorite parts of the game? Like what got you excited? And like that's kind of what I'm curious. What got you excited as you were playing?
I mean, I was saying it earlier, just to be quick. The faction piece was really interesting. I just liked kind of breaking time, to play with what's going on somewhere else, to get back into this moment. And like you said, like just weighing how does that affect what's going on now, and how much it was like a different dilemma of like, how much do I want to play into that, and how much do I want to be honest to the narrative, and how much of a benefit am I trying to eke out of this situation. I just, that was really interesting. I liked that a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah, I very much love games with resources that feel tangible, and like I feel like most games are like, cool, you're allowed to spend like one of these and one of these, and that's it every single time. And like there is a little bit of that here, but it's also the fact that like when it gets to the end, if you want to keep pushing, you're allowed to continue to gamble with these things.
Mm.
And I mean, it's just how I enjoy playing games in a lot of, especially in one shot form.
Mm.
Of just like, cool, let's see how hard I can push this character. Let's see like what bends, what breaks, what snaps. As I as I explore this character in this space. And I really think that this game does a really solid job of giving you enough tools, giving you enough rope to hang yourself, uh, as like in the grand scheme of things, which is always an enticing thing, and it lets players who end up playing a little bit more conservatively. It essentially gives them the leeway to play a little bit more wild and a little bit more loose, so that can probably like help pull them out of their shell a little bit,
Totally.
in like larger campaigns.
Awesome.
How often do you move into one of the faction?
Typically it's once per level.
Once per level, right?
Yeah, you could certainly have exceptions to that, but I think once per level is a good clip.
Yeah.
Of
It feels like in this level, depending on the narrative choices you make, you could try to essentially mine it and be like, we track down where this leak is coming from. We keep on getting information on above. We don't move up. We just work on the faction, which is an interesting thing. Like, but it's a narrative. It would be
there is a thread that you all didn't pull, was the one where like, where did this leak come from?
Right.
Which would have gotten you another
But
again
I was just curious because the thing I think that I was really enthralled by is you could essentially, as an individual breaker, be like eating it in the dungeon regularly, and your faction could still be doing
great.
And those are two different. Like, there's actually a really compelling like side by side narrative happening there, of like, I'm the dude who always gets like screwed over when we're down here, but on the surface. But then like I as a player am also making choices so that I walk into faction area, like into faction conversations, ready to unleash on everyone else. And so I'm taking shit, but like my faction is doing absolutely great.
I think there's great narrative potential for a breaker to be eating shit and the faction doing great. And it's like, well, did they actually need me then? Or like, did they find a better leader? Like, what am I doing down here now? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think those two sides of that story are probably the most compelling thing to me.
Yeah, thank you. Great.
Besides the great art and layout.
Oh, again, props to Andrew for the amazing layout. Like, there's a reason why this game is being nominated for best graphic design or best graphic layout, and that's because of Andrew's masterful work.
Yeah.
And Tony Tran did wonders on the art and visual direction.
I'll say it again. So. Tony made it easy. It was so fun to work with both of you, and man, it was a blast.
Yeah, it was a very project of joy for us.
Also, if you want to look for them, there's a bunch of sneaky little rabbits throughout the book.
Yes, yeah, there are great rabbits
that came up in our
strewn around.
in our Now You've Seen It interview of just like the rabbit motif in both this and Realm being a weird crossover touch point. So
yeah.
This has been great. If you want to find the game, they can go look over on Glyphtide's Itch, or they can head to plus1exp.com. Either places are great ways to support the game. Also, the jam is happening, and people should go check it out. Like I do. I mean, I didn't think about it, but like the Final Fantasy vibes of this, like there's a lot of other things this could play really well in. Like looking at the core mechanic of this, it's doing a lot of really great things in a lot of really interesting ways. I'd love to see more for how people are flexing it. Ethan, what else do you have in the works right now besides the jam? Anything else you got you're excited about, you want to shout out?
No, I think that's the big one is the game jam right now. Just working on some personal projects, nothing yet to announce. So I am going to be submitting my own jam submission for Chainlink. So it will have this level that you all played polished up.
Awesome.
So it's something that others can engage with, as well as some of the stuff that we left on the cutting room floor to keep our core game
So
down
that we
to
could put a staple through it.
more acceptable zine submission.
I would have put a spine on it. You wanted a
so-
staple. Don't lie. Don't lie
It's
to people.
true. It's true. It's true. But judging by what kind of reception we get with the staple bound,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that we can see.
Yeah, I'd be happy to come back to
include.
Chainlink as a bigger release in the future. Also,
and that's part of the game jam. Is I just want to. What really is meaningful to me is just seeing other game designers like present company just react to the game.
Yeah.
What is their spin on it? Like, what is it they think is cool that they want to build upon? What are the things that they think like, we could tweak this and it'd be like more interesting this way? I love to hear all of that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why I'm hoping the game jam can be a platform for.
Cool. We've got a couple great things coming up. We just had a three weekend stream. If you missed any of that, go back and check it out. But the cool thing happening over the next couple weekends is our Stonetop actual play. We've got a 4-part actual play with Jeremy Stramberg, creator of Stonetop, running it for an absolutely killer cast, and me here on Plus One Saturdays and Sunday mornings. The next few weeks we'll have that. Then our crew's going to head down to Baltimore. Quinn and I are going to be down in Baltimore for Game Face Con later on in the month. We've got some great individual content pieces on Wednesday night. We've got Procedures at Play with, is it Sam Dunawald this month? Is that who we're bringing in, or is it Navarre? Who we got? One of the two of them are going to be here talking about games and how their design drives games forward. And then the following Wednesday, we're going to have Dylan Appelian, Super Dylan, here to talk about Dylan's Villains, also known as the Ultimate Guide to RPG Villains, the book that they put out with Simon & Schuster Press on Wednesday night, and for Intrepid Merchants, and talking about some of the other cool things happening in the RPG space this month. Come on back for Intrepid Merchants 2 Wednesdays from now. We'll have a couple episodes of Now You've Seen It and some other great stuff coming up this month also on Wednesday nights. You can follow all that stuff here or find anything we do over at plus1exp.com. Check out Zine Club at RPGZine.Club. And we've got some cool crowdfunders coming up. We probably are doing too many of those this year, but they're all cool, and I'm really excited about them all. Navarre Jackson's Soothe Wardens is coming up ASAP, so be ready to check that out. We've never figured out a good way to end streams here at Plus One EXP, and at this point, we're not interested in trying, so we're all just going to wave at the camera until I take us off air.